Well, it comes down to the players believing in each other. This program, it's never been about a single coach or a single player. It's been about the whole team.
Central Michigan, the MCHC champions.
It's not one individual. It's about this whole team and believing in each other and buying into your roles.
This is a really bitter loss for CMU, one that they desperately needed to win. An 11-4 final in favor of Notre Dame.
The third weekend out of the last four that Central Michigan has come away not having won a game.
Personally, I've never been in the situation before this far low, down in the rankings, but I know we can climb up to the top 16 if we just win.
But with the end must come the beginning. And so tonight a new era begins as former captain Brendan Martin begins his tenure behind the bench for CMU.
It's kind of a do or die moment for them, and they have to go out and play every game like it's their last, because it could be.
Here's McKenzie, and on Jones, oh, what a save! Lauren Jones!
3-on-3, here we go, Nathan Bottle to Porzonic, scores! Hat-trick, Andrew Porzonic! And tonight, they will knock off the number 2 team in the nation. Central Michigan upsets Missouri State.
We can't look at any team like they're much better than us or any worse than us. Just got to go into each game expecting to have a battle and do our best to get the win.
Works it up top for Baker. He's got room. Across. Scores! Sam Camilla! And CMU fends off the Michigan Flint Wolverines.
We're not going to back down from anyone. And really, we're just going to outwork them.
Central Michigan has turned the corner.
There's no excuses. You have to go and do your job and ultimately win the game.
It's a beautiful snow-covered day for hockey here in Midland, and the MCHC playoffs are finally upon us. For the Chippewas on the outside of the top 16, this is a winner-go-home part of their season as they try to make it back to the ACHA National Tournament for the 4th consecutive season. On the other hand, the Golden Grizzlies are trying to keep their number 15 spot and make it back to the tournament for the first time since 2020. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Midland, Michigan, inside Midland Civic Arena. My name is Reagan Cleaves, alongside my broadcast partner, Evan Serra. We're happy to have you along this evening as the Central Michigan Chippewas take on the Oakland Golden Grizzlies in a first-round MCHC playoff matchup. Well, Devin, this was a tough series for Central Michigan over the course of the regular season. They split with these Golden Grizzlies, both teams winning at home about a month ago, and it was inconsistent play that plagued the Chippewas. Who needs to step up here tonight in order for the CMU to come away with a win?
Well, the entire power play and penalty kill units of CMU does. They were 0 for 4, I think something on the penalty kill against Oakland in that first game, which they lost 6-3. Today, they've got to be great on the special teams. Oakland's a very high-powered offense that can score on you, take advantage of those power plays at will. The reason why they're number 15 in the country. So they got to buckle down on the special teams today, but it's going to have to be a full team effort. And it's really got to come from the role players doing their jobs. They got to play great back check defense in their own end, protecting their goaltender, and of course they got to put the puck in the back of the net quickly.
And that's what happened on the home game win for CMU against Oakland a couple of weeks ago. They were able to score within the first minute of the hockey game, and they were off and rolling from there. But let's take a look back at last weekend. CMU dropped a frustrating game on the road to Davenport, the first time since 2013, or pardon me, since 2012-13 season that Davenport had beaten Central Michigan, but they bounced back the next night, although it didn't start that way. Davenport rattled off 2 goals to start the hockey game in the first 10 minutes, but CMU then took over. They scored 5 unanswered goals from that point and ended up outlasting Davenport by a final score of 6-3.
And that was really a case of their breakout players having a good good nights, and Isaac Gibbs being one of those. He finally got back on the score sheet. We've been kind of waiting for him to get back into his scoring groove, and he did that. Owen Campbell also had a goal in that game. 6 different Chippewas had a goal in that game, so they spread the wealth of the puck, and that's what they had to do because Davenport was a much better opponent, and obviously they expected that first night. And so for that, it was a case of being able to split the series by playing their style of hockey, playing physical, possessing the puck well, and most importantly, giving their goal scorers a chance to do what they do best. Andrew Porzonik and Nathan Bottles had a pair.
Yeah, indeed. And the seniors showed up on senior night. Keelan Baker had a goal. Charlie Hayes had 2 assists. So the seniors on senior night played well, and they got CMU the victory on home ice against Davenport. Taking a look now around the MCHC East. We aren't in the playoffs now, so it's win or go home time here in the Michigan Collegiate Hockey Conference. Michigan has a bye tonight. They will take on the lowest remaining seed tomorrow at 2:50. They finished the regular season with a 10-0-2 record with 22 points on the campaign, and they are currently ranked 3rd in the nation. Lawrence Tech follows them up, ranked number 4 in the nation, 9-2-1 on the campaign in division. They will take on Michigan Flint after the conclusion of this game, and that'll be right on this rink after us here. Saginaw Valley takes on number 6 Adrian. Saginaw Valley ranked 3rd in the division. They are 9-3-0-0 on the year. Adrian 2-10-0-0 with 4 points. So opposite ends. Saginaw most recently swept Adrian in that home-and-home series to end the year.
And they did it in dominating fashion. And, you know, you can talk about Saginaw Valley being one of the best teams in the nation, top 5 in the country, well on their way to nationals, and honestly one of the favorites to win the Vezina Cup this year. Now, you've got to go through a gauntlet that is Michigan, Lawrence Tech. We haven't even talked about the potential semifinals matchups with Grand Valley and Hope potentially, but it's a dogfight, and it's one that pretty much 4 or 5 teams have a case to make their shot at winning the Vezina Cup. But what's most important right now is winning these first 2 conference games, because the first 2 games of this MCHC playoff are going to count towards the national rankings. It's a similar bid to last year when CMU won against Adrian and then ceremoniously upset Lawrence Tech in double overtime. And those games mattered. It put CMU just a little bit closer and secured their spot in the nationals. It's going to have to be the same case this weekend. This game is vitally important. Oakland's at 15, CMU's at 17. It's the playoffs. Of course, it's win or go home, but it's the most exciting hockey you'll watch all year. And boy, this one's going to be a dogfight.
National tournament implications all around in the Michigan Collegiate Hockey Conference. On the west side of things, there are a couple of teams ranked again on the cusp of that, including number 16 Calvin. They are in action tonight. They will take on Davenport at 7 p.m. over at Griff's Ice House West. Taking a look now at Central Michigan and Oakland, the 2 teams vying for a second round game tomorrow. CMU comes into this one 14-10, 2-2, 32 points on the campaign, 5-6-0-1 in the regular season in division. They are 4th in the division, so they are the home team on the ice here tonight. They are 3-5-0-2, Devin, in their last 10. It's been a struggling second half for them.
Well, that's mainly because they've ran into some really good interconference opponents. You talk about that Lawrence Tech series where they were swept in that one, and then they ran into a really good Oakland team that had their number. Michigan, you know, you kind of expected that one to be hard for them, but getting the tie was still brutally massive in that series. And so it's just been a really tough stretch because of the opponents they've played. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily CMU is a bad team or they've been playing bad, but they've run into some really, really good opponents, and that can't be shied away from. One thing to note about this matchup between these 2 teams before you get to Oakland is these teams have met so many times in the playoffs before in these win-or-go-home style of games. It's exciting to see from these standpoints, and when you look at these 2 teams and their history together, it's a lot of fun just to see the level of hockey that these 2 teams have played at.
Yeah, two opponents that are used to seeing each other in high-stakes games. We'll get to that a little bit more in our series history segment coming up in a little bit. Oakland, 13-16 on the campaign. Devin, they are on a 5-game losing streak coming into tonight. That started with their loss to CMU back earlier at Martin Ice Arena. That kicked off a tough skid for them, but despite being swept by Lawrence Tech and Grand Valley State, they kept those games really close.
Oh, yeah, they did. We were watching that on the edge of our seat because of the seeding implications, the Nationals implications. Imagine if Oakland would have been able to upset Lawrence Tech, how big that would have been in the standings. Certainly CMU needed them to lose, and they have been losing. As you mentioned, 5 straight losses to end their year. They're still pretty secure in that 15th spot. Today will matter a lot because if CMU or either team's able to win this one, it would almost guarantee, I would say, at least that top 15 to 17 range, and then a win tomorrow would surely guarantee yourself in the national tournament, taking on number 1 seeded Michigan.
Yeah, indeed, and the only way
we should expect number 1 Michigan.
The only way these the winner of this game does not take on Michigan is if either Adrian or U of M Flint upsets Lawrence Tech or Saginaw or Lawrence Tech respectively. So that'll be a couple of two games to watch here tonight. Lawrence Tech on this rink, Saginaw on the other rink here at Midland Civic Arena. Those 2 games with massive implications in the national tournament picture. Taking a look at the series history between these two teams, Oakland has dominated this. CMU has a 5-10, 2-1 record against Oakland, and those 5 wins have come only in the last 10 matchups, Devin. Oakland has dominated the series historically, and they showed it earlier this season, winning 6-3 on home ice.
Oh yeah, and it was a right out of the gate. It was their senior night that one, and Oakland wanted to make a statement. They certainly have been. It's no secret that their top groups and top scorers have been great. Jack Abo, Sam Palmeter, and Shane Arbor have been electric for them goal-scoring wise. This is a team, like we talked about in the right at the top of the show, that is so good on their special teams, is so in tune to their system and playing as a unit that it's almost hard to beat a team when you have a bunch of guys working as a single unit towards a common goal. Now, obviously, that's the goal of every team, but this Oakland Golden Grizzly team does it like some that I haven't seen this year, and it's why they're top 16.
Yeah, indeed, and we talked about it earlier with the massive implications that this rivalry has seen in the playoffs. Central Michigan lost to Oakland in the Golden Grizzlies national championship run back in 2016, a 6-0 defeat in the semifinals, and then Central Michigan 2 years later took down Oakland in the Vezina Cup semifinals on the way to their first Vezina Cup Vezina Cup championship back in 2018. One notable exception from the lineup here tonight for CMU is Elijah Jones. He will not be dressing here tonight, so CMU down to Lauren Jones and Joel Drucker between the pipes here tonight. Taking a look now at our players to watch, we got Jay Nadeau and Andrew Porzondik for Central Michigan.
Well, Jay Nadeau, first of all, has to be a great penalty killer today. We've seen him out on the ice with that penalty kill group, chasing after pucks, clearing the zone. He's going to be important defensively. Now, in previous year, we said, look, Jay Nadeau's got to be this winger that can score goals and produce for them, but it really hasn't happened this year. So he's got to be able to be in tune with that. And then for Andrew Porzondik, pretty much an MCHC first and second team snub. I don't even know how you could snub him from that list. He has a bagillion points in a bagillion games. The point is, Andrew Porzondik's got to be great here tonight. It's been no secret he's their best goal scorer. He's the best player out on the ice when he is there. Is he going to show up when time matters most? And are we going to see this CMU team that we've accustomed to seeing successfully against games like Grand Valley State, Missouri State? Or are we going to see the one that's dropped games against Davenport, had the tie against IUP, or got swept by Lawrence Tech? Time will tell.
Yeah, indeed. And on the other hand, for Oakland, Shane Arbor had 5 points in the weekend series between these two teams, 3 goals and 2 assists, and those 3 goals came on home ice, all on the power play. He is a phenomenal power play weapon for Oakland, and we'll see how he does here tonight. And also Sam Palmeter, the captain for this Oakland team and the quarterback for their offense.
Yeah, Palmeter is so good against the Chippewas this year. 3 points total, a goal, 2 assists, but he does a lot more than just that. He's able to control the puck very well, possess it, get it out of their own zone, and skate it from the neutral zone and make attacks happen. And you need a player like that that's going to secure the puck for you. You need somebody who's going to take ownership of that and go to those dirty areas. And Palmeter's that guy, but it's going to have to be, like we mentioned, CMU's 3 lines against Oakland's top group, because when Oakland has them out there, they're going to be looking to score each and every single time, and not just figuratively. I mean, they'll literally be in the attacking zone with a chance.
Yeah, indeed. And taking a look now at our keys to the game, Central Michigan has struggled recently with getting their entire team to show, they were physically present, but they're just not playing like it. They don't seem to want it lately, and that's one of your keys to the game, Devin.
It is one of my keys to the game. This has got to be an all-in mentality for this team. You know, like we've said, we don't really know what to expect from this team on a night-to-night basis. Sometimes they look like that team that can go on a national tournament run and beat some of the best in the nation, and then other nights they're sluggish out of the gate. They have a bad first period. The game starts to get in their head. What has to happen tonight is all three facets of each period, they have to buy in from the start, not get themselves out of it mentally. It's 60 minutes of hockey, not 20, not 40, 60 minutes. They got to have all buy in.
And they also got to have and got to do the little things right, Devin. That's something Central Michigan has struggled with lately. Giving pucks away in the neutral zone, not being able to block shots. It's led to some rough nights for your guy between the pipes. What else do they need to do?
Head coach Brendan Martin put it best with me ahead of this game. They have to have a defense-first mentality. Notably, last time he said that, CMU was able to go on and beat some good teams in Grand Valley, Missouri State, and even when they tied in that Michigan game. Look, it's got to be a defense-first mentality because you take care of your own end, good stuff can happen the other way. It's not about getting every single guy to try and score a goal. It's about getting your role players, getting your killers to get the puck out of the zone, get it to your goal scorers, and make stuff happen, and that's what he means by the little things.
Indeed, and you've also got to capitalize on the power play, Devin. Central Michigan has struggled mightily on the man advantage this second semester, but they were able to get a little bit of life in that Davenport series.
Well, that little bit of life means a lot, Reagan, because momentum is the biggest thing in hockey. That little bit of spark, those 3 power play goals they had against Davenport, they all add up to give this team something to build on for the next week. That's all they talked about. Forget the latter half, forget the Lawrence Tech, forget how brutal it was to watch this team on the special teams before that Michigan series and during it. It's about right here, in this moment, right now. And the fact of the matter is they've been better as of late. Today it's got to show up, and I expect it to. And I expect one of the guys to score on the power play today to be Andrew Porzondek.
Well, there you go. Bold prediction from Devin Sarah, and that's where we'll leave it for this pregame show. We'll step aside. Zamboni's just about finished. We're about 10 minutes away from puck drop. Stay with us. We'll be back with puck drop here on CCHN.
starting netminders for Oakland University. First, they'll turn to Tate Pottinger, number 35. In 16 games this year, he has 7 goals, 8 losses, 2 shutouts, 3.35 goals against average, and a .899 save percentage. For your Central Michigan Chippewas, through 19 games, they have Lauren Jones at number 33. 8 wins, 8 losses, 1 overtime loss, and a tie. 0 shutouts, but a 4.15 goals against average, and a .888 save percentage. Reagan.
Thank you, Evan. Starting lineups tonight for Central Michigan. They go with Andrew Porzonic, Hayden Flynn, and Nathan Bottles, their forward line, and Charlie Hayes and Brandon Clements bringing things up on defense. For Oakland, they go with Shane Armour, Jack Hubble, and Sam Palmer, the starting forwards, and Griffin Gertz and Luke Pastor on the back end. Central Michigan will go from left to right across your radio dial. White home uniforms with maroon trim, maroon numerals, maroon helmets, maroon pants and white socks. Lauren Jones in net to our left. Tate Pottinger takes the pipes to our right. Oakland will be going right to left in black uniforms with white and gold trim and black everything else. We're underway here in the MCHC's first round here at Midland Civic Arena. Aiden Flynn will corral a pass on a outlet pass, and will jump it back up to center. Ballmer, the captain for Oakland, backhands it down the length of the ice. Charlie Hayes back there to play it for Central Michigan. He throws it around the boards. Big hit thrown there by Bottles down low. Pastor kept into the right point, but it goes right on the stick of Hayes. He lifted it up the far wall, but Pastor cut it off. Here's Abo over the line. Abo puts on the brakes to half wall. Good work there by by Brendan Clements to work it free. Here's Andrew Porzonic, splits behind the defense. Now going to the right wing corner. Lost an edge. That'll lead Oakland gaining possession. Abo dumps it back down to the Central Michigan end. Cleared up ice and was kept in there by Richie Metz. Back into the near corner. Andrew Miller trying to get it out for CMU, can't do so. Here's Deneau. Deneau fed it out in front. It was intercepted by Jay Nadeau, and his pass was knocked down by Logan Ray before the Grizzlies dump it back in. What a race here by Deneau to get to the puck before Braden Kill, but CMU is able to work the puck free though in a corner battle. Isaac Gibbs backed it up the wall, and Jay Nadeau turned it down ice. A minute 30 gone in the opening period here from Midland Civic Arena. Reagan Cleaves and Devin Sarah on the call for you here. Played into the near corner in the Oakland end, and they'll dump it out. It was cut off there by Christopher Martin and neutralized. Martin will control the dump in by the Grizzlies and send it needed to Field across the way. Field's clearing attempt bounces through the neutral zone and over the stick of Austin Ritter. And the Grizzlies will control their own end. Trying to get Central Michigan in a line change here. They go down to the offensive end.
Both teams kind of filling each other out in the first 2 minutes of this hockey game. Central's had a little bit more of the puck possession, trying to outlet passes. Porzonic had a good look, just lost an edge early, trying to gain the zone, but here they come back the other way quickly.
Andrew Sirakian on the outside will pull into the corner, trying to feed it back out in front, can't connect. And the Grizzlies look to move out. That clearing attempt hopped over the stick of Andrew Siraki in the slot, and CMU will regroup.
And one thing this CMU team did better in that second game against Oakland that they did not the first is just clearing the puck away. And I mean by that is not forcing so many icings, getting the red line, being able to scoop up, have solid transition work, as that one's actually going to go back for the icing because he was behind the red line. But they managed the puck possession a lot better. They were able to maintain the neutral zone. That's something that Oakland has been trying to get up on them as of late, get up on their play, start forcing them back into their own zone early. And so far, it's been a pretty back and forth contest for both teams. But this is a crucial face-off again. Oakland trying to set up some sort of zone time.
Front of the after Lauren Jones won by Central Michigan and cleared around the near side. Connor Morgan moved it out through center. It was just behind Andrew Siraki, and the Grizzlies will march back in. They dumped it into the corner and sent around to the near side. Andrew Siraki on a neutral ice, chipped it in. Chasing after that is Griffin Gertz. 3:05 gone to this opening period. Live from Midland Civic Arena, South Rink. Same place where almost a year ago Central Michigan knocked off the #1 team in the division, Lawrence Tech, in a thrilling overtime win. Needed to go more than 80 minutes Double overtime victory for the Chippewas off of a Jacob St. Andre shot from the high slot. Puck went off the linesman and back out to neutral ice before Oakland managed to shove it into the offensive end. Spin around clearing attempt by Charlie Hayes was knocked down. We'll have a stoppage play with 16:16 to go in the opening period.
Well, Reagan, let's take a look real quick at CMU's regular season numbers to finish the year. They did a pretty solid job, and we're actually looking at the head-to-head. CMU came in, they ranked 17th in the nation, Oakland 15th, with a record of 14-10-2-2, Oakland 13-6-0-0. Both these teams have had losing records the last 10 games, Reagan, as CMU went 3-5-0-2, and Oakland went 3-7. Notably, they've lost 5 straight.
That 5-game losing skid started with Central Michigan's victory back earlier this season on the 4th of February, 20 days ago. Puck still in the CMU end. It's thrown out to neutral ice. Nathan Bottles couldn't handle it. Up the near wing. Albo chases in after it. Gets a roughing contest there with Brendan Clements before CMU is able to dump the puck in behind Tate Conacher. Hayden Flynn on the forecheck with Nathan Bottles. Andrew Porzonik trying to work the puck free, but was chucked out by Palmater and out. Oh, look out, good intercept there by Andrew Porzonik. He's got Bottles on the left, top of the right circle. His shot was blocked off the stick there by Josh Kanzak. 4:40 gone in this opening period. Icing is going to be waved off. Braden Kill chases back after it for Central Michigan. Full control behind his own end. He was slashed at there. That doesn't draw a penalty. CMU still in the breakout here. Here's Isaac Gibbs in the pass from Andrew Porzonik. Tries to split the defense. He lost it. And it'll come back out to neutral ice. Braden Kill's pass was intercepted. Here's Auger down the left wing. Auger out in front. Bouncing puck, a shot, save the rebound. And a quick whistle there. Out in front, Evan Krill tried to jam it home. Lauren Jones made the save. Stop play. 5-11 into this one.
Well, that's a great job by Shane Auger moving into the zone, getting this backhander to Auger, the 2 defenders. He goes right to the net, tries a backhander over the right pad of Jones, and it doesn't go. But Oakland's starting to win one of the turnovers as of late. Both teams are still kind of filling each other out in the neutral zone.
Krill slides it across. He gets it back high. Slot dropped off the backhand of Monty. Monty is shot fluttered high over the goal. And it was chopped out behind by Evan Shippa. Near side corner. Keel goes in there with Auger. Grizzlies work it free. Prill's pass goes off the end boards. And back to the near side where Miller tries to play it for the maroon and gold. He got it up to the point, but not out. It was kept in there by Munchie. Christopher Martin throws it back out to neutral ice off the high glass. Oakland going for line changes, has to tag up. Braden Kilman, a long stretch pass. He's got Isaac Gibbs on right wing. He's across that line and his shot couldn't get past Thomas Monty, and it went skittering wide.
Boy, that was Clements going off the bench, getting that stretch pass. Remember, Reagan, Isaac Gibbs received a beautiful feed from him a couple of weeks ago for a goal similar to that fashion. That time, Gibbs tried to cut to the net and missed. But a great sight just to see the defensemen getting involved in the offense of CMU early. That means they're pretty confident they're able to spread the wealth of the puck and be confident in their puck carriers, especially trying to cross ice and get to the neutral zone rather quickly.
Draw to the left of Pottinger here. 13:54 to go in the opening frame. He ground a long dump and a big hit there by Austin Ritter. There on Luke Pastor. Oakland takes it, dumps it back out to center ice. Kyle Chapman's back there to play it for the maroon and gold. Off the half wall. Connor Morgan couldn't get to it. It was stripped off from there by Deneau. Turnover at the Chippewa line, and Chapman will dump it in. Behind the net, Griffin Geertz controls. It's played into the corner, a battle for it there, and it's swung around to the far side. Geertz in after it there for the Golden Grizzlies. A clearing attempt went off the skate of Andrew Siraki, and Geertz will once again control. This one sent down the ice, and it was tipped. Twice been waved off. Finally, Chapman spins and throws that one right back out from whence it came.
And you know, you're just seeing a lot of funky pucks bounced around. This ice is really fast, a lot faster than we're used to at Martin Ice Arena. It's just allowing teams to make these super quick passes, and both teams are extending each other well on some of the one-on-one matchups.
And the Golden Grizzlies over the line. The outside, Chippa's backhander was denied. Tyler Martin takes Chippa into the wall across the way, and it's fished out there by Fanuff. He threw it around behind Camara on the near side. He tried to clear it out, but the job was finished there by Keelan Baker. Grizzlies entered the zone on right wing, but quickly gave the puck away. Owen Campbell behind his net. Dribbled it to the far side, and Chapman got it back. Cleared out to neutral ice, touched ahead there by Keelan Baker. Owen Campbell couldn't get the puck at the offensive blue line. This one sent down the length of the ice, and icing will be the call with 12:04 to go in the period.
Boy, that could have worked for Campbell, and Baker through the middle. Campbell kind of just overskated the puck and allowed that Grizzly defender to send it down the ice, but it's still a case of both teams filling each other out. You know, I haven't really seen a great quality chance for either team. Central has a chance coming up with their top group back out with the faceoff draw.
Out of the right of Pottinger. 7:56 gone in the opening frame. Bartles off the tie-up. Threw it up top for Charlie Hayes. He corrals a wrist shot through traffic. It's loose in front and clear to the line, but not out. Brody Plant, though, was able to collect the puck and dump it out.
Boy, that was great hand-eye coordination by Clemens. Just Plant was right there, ready with the positioning to clear it.
Bartles on the rush, pulls up in the right wing corner. Ekes around Monty, threw it out in front. Orzande couldn't get to it as he was tied up in front. And the Grizzlies are able to clear it out. Clemens at neutral ice.
You know, Central's trying to play more aggressive here on this 5-on-5. They've got one man high in Clemens, but they're sending 4 of their people, including Charlie Hayes, to the net.
Aiden Flynn behind the net. It was worked free to the near side for Ryan Kachi.
Right there once again, look, they can just get the stretch out look, get it back to Clemens, and that one's going to be an icing. But this is good for CMU. It's good if they can keep Oakland from getting in their rhythm, getting clean outlooks, and certainly pinning their own zone. The fatigue factor is so underrated. It was a factor in that Lawrence Tech game last year on this ice, and it's going to be a factor here today. It's fast ice, it's quick. You can get up and down in a hurry, but you got to manage your stamina, and certainly you got 60 minutes to play.
Central Michigan hoping to get up on top of an Oakland team who has not played well when trailing after either the first or the second. They're 1-11 when trailing after 1 and 0-13 when trailing after 2. So if CMU can get out of this first period with a lead, that helps their case immensely. But Oakland trying to get the first lead of the hockey game, enters in on left wing, and a pass out in front, skipped over the side, skipped over the net, and there's a shot off the side thereof before it's cleared out. Oh, St. Nadu ran into his man Thomas Monty right in front of the broadcast booth here. A little bit closer to the ice than we're used to. This is just barely offside. Linesman was right on top of it. Good call there.
Well, you know, this is the best ice positioning I've had on this NHL size rink since I've been here at Midland Civic Arena. We're right at red line, we're right at the center. If you remember last year, we were just past the blue line, kind of a ways down, it seemed like. Were we at center ice?
We were at center ice
I could have
last year.
swung a little bit down. It felt like we were further down.
At least the camera was at center ice.
Maybe we weren't, I don't know. But this feels like a lot, you know, better vantage point than we've had. And this arena, just with how narrow it is, we don't really have bleachers in this stand. It's more of just a single level bench.
Here's Connor Morgan over the line. Into the right wing circle, threw it out in front. Pottinger made the save, and Siraki on the rebound was denied by the blocker of Pottinger. Now a pass across by Chapman, intercepted. The Grizzlies out on a 2-on-2. Over the line, right wing, here's Arbor, cutting to the front of the net. To the outside, good defensive work there by Kyle Chapman. Now the Grizzlies in the high slot. There's a shot by Palmer. It was gloved out of the air there by Lauren Jones.
Well, Oakland is finding their way to the middle of the ice in the slot area. Lauren Jones coming up big. And he was an underrated factor in our pregame show. He's got to have a big day again. You know, we've kind of seen him have some great games and then some not so great games. And look out.
And a penalty coming up. Here's Austin Ritter, was boarded from behind there by Josh Konzak. So Central Michigan is going to go on to the power play here just over halfway through the opening period.
Yeah, and you know what? That was a good job by Ritter just to kind of draw that working at the half wall, and Konzak overcompensated the hit and put him in the boards, and so Central will go to the power play. Fans, don't forget that the CMU Club Hockey Network YouTube channel is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, full game broadcasts for CMU men's D3 and women's D2 hockey. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so as to never miss a moment of Chippewa hockey. Just go to YouTube and search CMU Club Hockey Network to find the channel. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Central Michigan, 25% on the power play. That's an impressive number, but 5 for 17 in their last 4 games. So struggled a bit as of late. especially in the second semester, but here they go on the power play. Shane Arbor, rather, was the man who was sent off. 6 and 5 look quite similar from a distance. Here's Bottles to the high slot around the outside of the circle. Goes around the back of the net. Counterclockwise around the zone. Camara at the right point across to Hayes. Hayes steps into the circle, down the wall to Porzonic in the corner. Back to Hayes. Here's a shot. Saved by Pottinger. Rebound. Will bounce behind the net. It'll be cleared up the wall, but good hustle there by Charlie Hayes to stop the clearing attempt from Duncan McLeod. The near side, here's Camara. Across to Charlie Hayes. His wrist shot. Save the rebound. It's loose in the slot. It's free. And a good keep there by Camara. Full halt on the half boards across the way. One-timer for Charlie Hayes, and that one was sent right through the crease. And the Grizzlies will clear it out. A minute gone in this power play.
Porzonic and Baker with a couple of rebound attempts. They can't cash in on the first one. Baker can't get a stick down on the ice in time to bang it home. And then the second look, Porzonic just doesn't get inside positioning on his man. Great job by the Oakland defender to keep it from getting for a second look on the right pad of Pottinger.
Nadeau and Morgan combining the corner for the forecheck for CMU. Campbell up the wall. He'll move it across to the near side. Isaac Gibbs. Top of the right circle to Martin. Campbell controls across the way at the left point. Down to Nadeau in the circle. He'll turn around and fire a shot that was blocked away by Pottinger. Good job by Campbell to rub his man out. And a great effort on the ice. He's able to poke that puck away. But the Grizzlies are able to get it out nonetheless.
And it's a better effort there by Evan Shipla to stick with it on the play, prevent Central from resetting at the blue line. And really, Central's trying to create chaos in front of Pottinger, and that one is just not going for them right now. They're not getting the rebounds they want.
But they've been doing a good job keeping Oakland pinned in the defensive end as the power play has come to an end, but CMU generating shots on the man advantage. They seem to have a little bit momentum at this point, but a clearing attempt there goes off of Andrew Porzonic.
And one other point about that is as the confidence rises in this CMU team, more and more they're going to get better quality looks on the net. They don't cash in on the first power play, but that's a momentum builder just for the fact that they did get so much pressure on Pottinger right there.
7:26 to go in the opening period. Ring, please, Devin Serra on the call for you. They're from Midland Civic Arena. Nathan Bottles picks it up and neutralized. Oh, we're going to shot. Patted away by Pottinger, and the rebound in the slot was cleared behind the net. Now here's Bottles from the wraparound, and it's loose, and it's held onto by Pottinger.
That's a poised effort there from Pottinger, sticking with the left side of the post. Bottles tries to stuff this one from a kind of a toe drag right circle chance, and then that one's kicked to the right pad. Gets behind the net, tries to wrap it, and Pottinger just stays level the whole time right there on the left post. It doesn't allow him to jam at it. And, you know, that's something. He's a big body boy. Pottinger, he stands in that net tall, doesn't he, Reagan? Sitting there, it's hard to get a body right him. Puck loose through him right in front, especially with that 5-hole.
Doesn't have good rebound control. Netminder for Oakland. Year 7 and 8, 235 goals against Salmon, and 899 save percentage.
You know, he didn't have a bad night in that loss to CMU. It was only a 3-1 hockey game, and the scoring was really spread out, and included an empty netter at the end.
He played well throughout the night. Loss really couldn't be boiled down to him. Really just a better play on home ice there by Central Michigan as opposed to the road effort by Oakland. They are able to move this puck out. Jackson's in a race for it with Shane Arbor icing way it off. Clements on the near side, batted out there by Jack Oppo, and eventually comes trickling out to neutralize where Duncan McLeod will control. He flipped it in over the line, tried to connect with Arbor, and didn't go. Here's Owen Campbell. Saucer pass for neutral ice, and Ben Reichuk out there for the first time here tonight. Able to jump that puck out of the offensive end. Reichuk's first shift, he's already getting physical behind the net. Well behind the play. Oh, nice flip ahead. Here's Owen Campbell alone across the line. Oh, look at this shot! And Pottinger came about 3 feet outside of his crease. Challenge Campbell and make a good save.
That's a great angle right there, played by Pottinger. It seems like Campbell is trying to just overcompensate to the right circle. You'd like to see him post up more in the slot, but still, nonetheless, great positioning. And Pottinger, you can already see his confidence rise as a goaltender. Very level. Doesn't seem like he can get anything past his shoulders.
He has been the main starting netminder for Oakland. 5:42 to go in the opening period. Stay with us for the first intermission report. Evan Sarah will take a look at the collegiate out-of-town scoreboard, as well as how the CMU women are doing. They're over in Burton at Crystal Fieldhouse tonight and tomorrow in the CCWHA round robin version of their playoffs. Top 4 teams advance. They'll take on Michigan State tonight, Sioux College tomorrow morning, and round out the weekend with Adrian. The top 2 teams after the round robin go on to the championship on Sunday. Oakland trying into the zone. Connor Morgan cut it off. Ahead to Zeraki. He'll pick it up off the wall in the corner. Trying to feed it out in front. It was knocked away by Griffin Gertz. Ruiz trying to get it up, and he does it the right wing, but Christopher Martin will take it in on second chance, flip it in. 5 minutes to go here in the opening period. Scoreless tie from Midland Civic Arena, and Isaac Gibbs just over the line before Austin Ritter could clear out of the zone. Stopped to play with 4:55 to go.
You know, what's really been underrated by Central is their play in the neutral zone. They're making a lot better stretch passes. It's leading them to get into the zone quicker and start to make those entries a lot easier on themselves. You know, that first Oakland game, it seemed like they would have to work really, really hard to get past Oakland's front 3 that would just post up at the red line. And now you see them kind of moving Oakland, forcing them to go to the boards and play it tight. So I like what Central's play has been so far. They just haven't gotten the look that they've wanted.
Down numbers here for Oakland over the line. Pass out in front and up. Pardon me, that was Logan Ray. Ran right in on Lauren Jones, and he makes the save for CMU. This is scoreless tie. Ray kept it at the right point, threw it down low. Kyle Chapman gets bumped after he throws the puck around to the near side. It was kept in there by Brendan Deneau. Back down, the Grizzlies in. Unable to keep the puck in, and Nets will dump it in. And they do off the wall. We'll poke it back out to neutral ice. 15:51. Martin is first.
Boy, look at this. Oakland trying to sustain pressure inside the zone. They finally get it out now. Central's got to settle down this bouncing puck.
First 13 minutes were relatively controlled by CMU on the offensive end. Oakland, though, has been getting back into this one momentum-wise. There's Bottles on a turnaround shot in the left circle, blocked, and here comes Brendan Deneau up right wing. He threw that one in on a long shot for Lauren Jones. We saw one get by him from 180 feet back at Davenport last Friday. Now, Grizzlies over the line, a one-timer off the rebound by Griffin. Then the right point was sent wide. Chapman got it and settled it down behind the net to Porzon in the right wing corner. He got clipped up high, wants a penalty, isn't really going to get one. Referees have been letting them play here. 3:16 to go in the opening period. Pass to neutral ice by the Grizzlies, intercepted, and Rychuk chasing after it there with Keelan Baker. Neither of the men decked out in white were able to get it. Grizzlies will regroup. Touch pass to the near side, catches enough over the line. Enough, though, couldn't get past Brendan Clements, got a loose bunt and swung it around. Now they feed it out in front. And Brody Platt couldn't get it home. Now Ben Rychuk up left wing, sends his man flying. Couldn't get past him with that jack. Charlie Hayes, the far half, boards to the near side, Brendan Clements. Up the wing, icing waved off here as it skipped to the wickets of Griffin Gertz. 2:30 to go in the opening period.
Central has been the more physical team, Reagan. You can see them taking the body to Oakland, but they've been able to get behind the defense more. That is the Grizzlies.
Abo to the outside, and a shot from the bottom of the right circle was denied by Lauren Jones. That one skipped by Brendan Clements and led Abo in on a one-on-one. Arbor, his shot was blocked by Charlie Hayes. He goes down in a heap. That's a big clapper. Blocked by the left leg of Charlie Hayes. He goes off, not putting any weight on that left leg.
I'd love to see that. That's a captain move. He's going to be stinging for a while, but laying in the body, he knows what's at stake. That defense first mentality we talked about in the pregame show, helping out the goaltender Lauren Jones, who's made a couple of big stops. So
now
far,
right on the back door, Oppo deflected that one just wide. Oakland on the offensive here in the Chippewa end to our left. The final minute 40 of this first period.
Boy, they're doing a great job of finding the slot. These Oakland forwards are deceptive. At one moment, they look like they're too deep into the zone to get back, and then all of a sudden, they're at your doorstep on the trying to pounce past the net.
Here's Luke Papp. The ice for Oakland, dropped it off to Evan Chippa on left wing. Chippa down into the corner to the near side. It is clear. 1:09 to go in the period. This one's dumped wide of goal to the right of Pottinger.
Boy, both teams' forechecks are just so aggressive at the latter half of this period. You can really see the play starting to pick up. Both teams starting to figure out what passes they can and can't make, how far they can extend themselves in the zone before they get checked. They're starting to figure that out right now. Oakland, look at this surge.
Ryan Country up to Chippa across the line. Hooked from behind by Nadu. That's not going to draw a penalty. After it, it'll be halted along the wall as time expires in the opening period. Scoreless through first. Central Michigan holds Oakland off the scoring sheet here, and so does Oakland to CMU. We'll step aside. Devin Simmers got the first intermission report. When we come back here on CCHN.
we're back here from Mid-Lake Civic Arena for the first intermission report presented by CCHN.com. Your score after 20 minutes, a stalemate 0-0 between number 15 Oakland University and number 17 CMU, seeded number 4 and 5 respectively. Well, folks, it's been a pretty back and forth period, very even on both sides in terms of the shots category. Oakland has had a couple more odd man rushes than CMU that have counted for good scoring chances, but they've all been seen and stopped by goaltender Lauren Jones, who's played excellent so far. On the other side of things, Tate Pottinger has played well for Oakland in terms of collecting rebounds and his control. Central's only power play of this hockey game ended with them taking a total of 4 or 5 shots on the net. None of them able to capitalize, as most of them were from the blue line or from long out chances that Pottinger's seen the whole way. He's been a big goaltender, he's been steady on his posts and very, very good, not allowing any wraparound chances for Central's sneaky forwards like Nathan Bottles and Andrew Borzanic. As both star players are trying to find their groove for Central, both sides have stayed and kept it even. Andrew Borzanic has had a couple of looks tonight. We haven't seen a lot of odd man rushes, I mentioned, but it's been a game of right now. It's coming down to the face-off draws, the key icings. Who's going to get that key blue line chance to make this a 1-0 hockey game? Whoever breaks through first, I'm sure, is going to carry all the momentum for the rest of the hockey game and the remainder of the period. As for our out-of-town scoreboard, we don't have anything to report to you just yet. The women's side of things has been in action from Crystal Field. Michigan State today, correct? Yes, Michigan State and Central's women's team in action, notably CMU's women's team looking to go to the Nationals for the first time in their team's history. They've already secured the most wins in their program history with 13 in the regular season. Now the only thing left to do is advance to the CCWHA playoffs and get to Nationals. As far for our HCHA top 10, it's all been interconference games this week, as Hope is in action tomorrow. They have the MCHC West first round bye, and they'll take on the lowest remaining seed from that pool. Meanwhile, Michigan also has the first round bye. They'll take on the lowest remaining seed, most likely the winner of this game today, Oakland and CMU. Finally, Saginaw Valley is in Adrian today on the other rink, the Olympic size sheet after this one, folks, and then Lawrence Tech, number 4 in the nation, will be in action against Michigan Flint on this very ice, the NHL size sheet. So a lot going on here at Mid-Lake Civic Arena. It's starting to populate around the end boards, around the glass, and it's making for an exciting playoff atmosphere that has been so far what's going to be a wonderful MCHC first round of games. Finally, Arkansas takes on Drury to round out the regular season schedule. GVSU takes action today against Western Michigan. And then finally, number 10 Air Force versus Colorado School of Mines. That'll just about do it for our first intermission report presented by CCHN.com. Reagan Cleaves is ahead for the second period action between these teams. Who's going to break the stalemate? We'll find out soon after the break. Stay with us. You're watching CMU D3 Club Hockey MCHC Playoffs on CCHN.
Both teams getting back on the ice right in front of us here, and we're just about set for period number 2 from Midland Civic Arena. Scoreless after 20 minutes, but it was a very solid first period on both sides. Central Michigan 0 for 1 on the only man advantage they got when Shane Arbor was sent to the box for a board. But otherwise, CMU and Oakland have been battling tight here in the first 20 minutes. Pottinger will take the pipes to our left as Oakland goes left to right, black uniforms with gold and white trim. Central Michigan right to left with Lauren Jones in net to our right. CMU with the maroon trim on the white jerseys with maroon numerals, maroon helmets, and maroon pants and white socks. Pretty solid game. Oakland and CMU. Winner will most likely take on Michigan tomorrow in the MCHC's quarterfinals. It's in-division play up until the semifinals next Friday, when it'll be the top teams in either division playing against each other at Patterson Ice Center. And Pastor, right off the draw, was about 5 feet inside the circle and was able to win that draw for Oakland. We're underway in period 2. Nathan Bottles blocked a clearing attempt off his skate, got it off the stick of Arbor. He threw it out in front. It skied across the way for Jack Goppo. He moved it out. Pass just too far for Palmer, and it will be moved back out to neutral ice. Dump in for Arbor, blocked by Palmer.
Well, one thing I think Brendan Martin probably stretched in that locker room was just control for Central. It seems like they've been very trigger happy in that first period. As that one shot by Nathan Bottles and off the right shoulder of Pottinger. But they've need to have a lot more control with the puck, especially getting on the odd man rushes.
Abo over the line, and Brendan Keel poked that right on Lauren Jones. He had to make a save on his own man. Oh, that puck hopped over the stick of Andrew Miller and will go down the ice for icing. Could have been a 2-on-1 for CMU.
And you know, we had some technical difficulties with our coaches show today for that first intermission. We apologize for that. But one thing that Brendan Martin wanted this team to do was dominate all 3 periods. I don't think that's happened considering how even that first period was. But one thing he just stressed the importance of was taking care of his own zone. Defense mentality first, then taking care of the offense later. Because you take care of your own zone, everything happens from there. And that's a good job by CMU to rely on their goaltender, Lauren Jones, and be heads up right there. Push it back to him. And then look at this. They have a chance the other way.
Jay Nadeau across the line, worked it free from Miller, and his backhand just went wide. Oh, and Miller got his stick caught up in Deneau's face, and neither referee has their arm up, perplexingly. Now look out, here's Deneau on right wing, across that line and dances into the circle. Now that came out right in front, and Jones had to make a good save on Richie Metz after Chris Martin couldn't clear it around behind the net.
Boy, where did the assistant captain come from? Metz seemed like a bullet right there, coming all the way from the half wall to the net, and all the CMU skaters overcompensated, trying to defend that one forward coming in there, which was, I believe, Logan Ray, and then just left Metz wide open in front of the net. That's something they've had a struggle with against this Oakland team, is the kind of miscommunication, missing assignments, missing men, and that time Oakland had a chance dangerously. Good thing Lauren Jones was there because, boy, he's had to been good so far.
Up at the right point, McLeod throws it on goal. It was blocked by Isaac Gibbs. He drives his man to the boards, and a shot from the left wing circled by Ruiz goes wide. Now here's Isaac Gibbs. He fanned on his pass ahead to Jay Nadeau, but Nadeau was able to lift his stick there of McLeod and go into the corner after the loose puck. Gibbs down the wall, trying to find Nadeau. It didn't work, but then Rychuk was there for the maroon and gold. Grizzlies, though, force a turnover in the defensive end and move out. Kachi over the line, threw it out in front, and it was deflected by Chipple right on, and Jones made the save. Here's Rychuk, dumping the puck into the opposite corner. Monty after it for Oakland. It's played to the near half board.
Boy, it's just a matter of time. Oakland's finding their way to the net way too easily in the slot, and there's been a lot of missed assignments in that regard.
That one was sent just high of the net.
Boy, that was dangerous for Kyle Chapman. I thought he was going to get hit in the face mask right there.
Here's Kyle Chapman. Speaking of him, he's up right wing. Dances around Prill and moves in and forces Pottinger to make a nice blocker save. Rychuk rubbed out behind the net. Owen Campbell to pick up the loose change on half wall. We'll drop it down for Rychuk. They change places, thrown out in front by Rychuk. He gets it back in the slot, a shot, save, and it goes up and out of play, and Rychuk getting into it there with Thomas Monty.
Well, Reagan, you called it. Konzak that time rubbing away Owen Campbell from behind the net, forced them to slow down the puck movement. But like they're doing a good job is cycling away and getting men kind of deceiving up from the point, down low. Rychuk's kind of switching positions and making it options open up for Central. And that time he had a good one in the slot, just blocked off the skate. How many block shots have Oakland had this period? They've been pretty good in that regard. It's been an underrated category for them. As much as we want to tout CMU for being unselfish and blocking shots, i.e. Charlie Hayes, Oakland's done the same thing for Pottinger.
Run to the left of the Oakland netminder. In the right wing circle. Won by the Grizzlies, and Pastor will sky it around to the near side. Kyle Chapman gets the puck, will throw it in on goal. It'll bounce right onto Pottinger, and I'll leave it there for Geertz. Connor Morgan picked off a pass, moved to the near side for Andrew Siraki. He goes crashing into the boards. And it's worked out here by the Grizzlies. On left wing, Geertz over the line, dropped it off there for Auger. Auger into the slot for Deneau. And his shot attempt was blocked. And now a spin around shot there by Auger. And Jones cannot find the rebound. It was loose for about 2 seconds in the slot. Eventually it was worked free. Luckily, no Golden Grizzly was out in front. Now here's Austin Ritter. Oh, look out, that puck will go up into the CMU bench across the way.
That time, Siraki's trying to backhand this one through the middle of his own ice over the blue line, and of course an Oakland forward is there in the slot area to take it away. That's just one of those things, those small mental lapses where you're trying to make a routine play, chip the puck out, and they just find a way to keep it in, and it led to a dangerous scoring chance, and then they're able to keep the half wall, able to cycle the puck, and so when Central has this puck on their stick, they've got to just take care of it. It's about possession. The entire game is about possession. And so you want to spend time possessing that puck, as simple as it sounds.
Here's Hayden Flynn on right wing, dumps it in. It took a hop off of Konzak and goes into the corner. Into the near side, loose puck picked up by Hayden Flynn. He's jammed along the boards, worked it down into the corner for Bottle. Bottles there, pressured by Phaneuf from behind, and eventually it's worked free by Konzak. Up left wing to the near side, Schmidt. Across that line, off the cross-ice feet, fed it back out in front. Porzadnik initially bumped it free, and CMU will clear it.
That's a good job, Central, that time, recognizing the slot area is streaking in. Oakland has done that first period, and that time they just put bodies to the passing lane, bodies to the puck, and look at that, it turned around for them to be able to come back the other way.
Here comes Brandon Clements, he dumped it in, and picking up the puck behind his net will be Josh Konzak.
I think they're going to take those kind of low percentage chances. They like Lauren Jones' spot when they're outside of the circles. They like when they keep to the half wall on the boards. But as soon as they get to the middle of the ice, that's when dangerous things can happen. And we know Lauren Jones at times against Oakland hasn't been greatest in his rebound control.
Across the line, left side, rips his shot, going for the high right side. And the glove of Pottinger stopped it in its tracks. It'll hold on by 4:52 gone.
Not a bad shot attempt there from Gibbs, although he's been trying to pick that glove side a couple times, hasn't been successful, or rather Nadu, excuse me, thank you, Reagan, but it's a little bit, again, another time we got a 2-on-2 going the other way. You'd like to see if those two can connect and get a clean look through the middle of the ice and a pass.
Clearing attempt goes off the linesman, and CMU is able to keep the puck in. Thomas Monty gives a flyby to the linesman.
And you know, Reagan
says, I'm sorry. Bianca Bartolomea and Rob Peters, the linesman. Butch Friedman and Daryl Glasshauser, the officials here tonight. So much this afternoon. There's been a solid crew here at Midland Civic Arena.
You know, I was just going to mention, it seems like this game's flying by because this officiating crew has really let them play. But this is fast ice. Both these teams have been able to get up and down the ice in transition very rapidly.
Central Michigan trying to work it out of their own zone. Ben Rychuk picks up the puck. He was worked over, though. The Grizzlies gained control behind the net, but Braden Kilb was able to force a turnover. Monty kept it in, feeds it across for Arbor. He puts it down off the boards, and it remains free behind the net. Oppo there behind the net with Arbor. Worked free to the point, but not out. McLeod holds it in. Will step into the slot, and a block shot there by Rychuk, and CMU is able to clear with help from Jay Nadeau.
You could have heard that one from fourth street. Great block by Ben Rychuk, keeping out of the zone. That one's going to be offside. And as much as Oakland has the speed and the odd man rushes to go with it, they've been held up. They've been held to the outside of the post, not allowing Lauren Jones to get a point-blank shot, and it's shown. And I think Central's going to take those opportunities all day long. It's just been kind of Oakland's more possessing it. Really, this is ultimately a stalemate right now. I don't think either side has the edge in this one yet.
No, I don't think either team. You're right, Devin. It's been fairly back and forth, and look out, the Grizzlies over the line. Metz had it hop over his stick and clear to the point, but not out. Kept in by Luke Pesker.
But you know that means that every chance they get, and then subsequently the first goal is going to matter that much more, especially the mental side. You know, you talked about the stat, right, where if Oakland's down by a goal out of the first or the second, right, they have been unsuccessful in winning games. And, you know, Central's kind of had those mental rough patches, too, where they've not really had the fortitude to get over deficits.
And talk about that. Central Michigan 0-8-1-1 when trailing after 2 periods. Much different when up after 2. They are 13-1-1 when up after 2 periods. So black and white in terms of how you play. Look out. It was poked free by Deneau. He's in on a 2-1-0. Deneau around the outside. Opts to forsake the breakaway. He'll feed it out in front. Loose puck still. It was blocked. And Baker got hauled down there across the way by Ray. Comes out in front. The Chippewas escape that one. A 2-1-0 with Ray and Deneau. Look out, here's Owen Campbell. Corrals the stretch pass, he's across the line, dropped it off for Tyler Martin. Back down to Campbell, he moves out in front. And it's stopped by Pottinger, and it looks like Owen Campbell's gonna pick up a penalty here.
Yeah, he took down assistant captain Ryan Kochi to the ice after the play. A hard cross check, and it's gonna draw the penalty. I think that was streaking back to get that puck was after it was broken play by Camara. It leads to an odd 2-on-0 rush, basically, but I mean, Kyle Chapman was there to get back. I don't even know if Oakland went to go to the front of the net, but they wrapped this one out, and then a big block by Chapman, a big block by Campbell. Now they're going to have to do a lot of work because Oakland's going to get their first power play of the night. Boy, this one, if it's successful, this one could be a really big turning point in this game.
Don't jinx it, Devin. 7:14 the time of the penalty on Campbell and right off the draw.
Hey, I'm not on the ice.
So Campbell was sent off for a cross-check, Gabo and left wing. Walk down the half wall, change places with Deneau. Up top for Arbor to the near side. He cycled the puck well on this power play to the Golden Grizzlies. Deneau down the wall to Alpo, up top for Arbor. Arbor, his shot through traffic, blocked in front by Chippewa on the friendly fire. And Porzonic will sky the length of the ice, and oh my, that one goes up and out of play. Straight from Andrew Porzonic, and that goes down. And then it was on the face-off back in the CMU end.
Well, that's great body positioning there by Bottles. Blocks the initial shot, and then good hustle by Porzonic to stay with the play. You know, at times they've had a tough time overskating the puck, and that time they don't. A great job there. I love the hustle from this group. We haven't mentioned names, but this Central group is hustling hard to get back on the plays, get to the puck, and that's definitely due to coaching and just the mentality. They're going to dig in deep here and try and stop this penalty.
Arbor slides it across Jack. Alpo goes into the corner. 1:16 to go on the power play for Oakland. Pass up top, Arbor has it. Wrist shot, score! Might have been tipped in front. If it wasn't, it's Arbor's 4th power play goal in the head-to-head here, but it looks like it's gonna be Brody Plant, his 8th of the year. And Oakland leads 1-0 on the power play.
Yeah, and that's a good job by Oakland cycling the puck, getting back to the top, and yeah, right there, point-blank range for Shane Arbor to just swoop it home, and no bodies in front. Central was trying to kind of reverse field and get back after Oakland kept that moving inside the box. It just leads time and space, and that one gets past Lauren Jones. It might be one he wishes he had back and stayed on the ice the whole time, but Oakland on the power play, like they did against the Chips earlier this year, continue to hound them and force them on the power play to make mistakes.
So Arbor assisting on that one. The Chippewas right back in the other way, and Miller's bid was denied. Now here come the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Up left wing across the line. Here's Fanuff. Now he throws his shot off the left wing. Circle, another opportunity, they score! 2 quick goals, Duncan McLeod this time. Hammers one home for the right wing circle. And the Golden Grizzlies are up by 2 goals in a matter of 30 seconds.
Yeah, first initial shot saved by Jones, pretty routine. And then the rebound comes right to the blade of McLeod, who's got a one-time clapper souped up, ready to go, and right past the blocker of Jones rifled that one. A beautiful shot And boy, Oakland, talk about capitalizing on momentum, comes back the other way. Central's behind, and McLeod just has perfect positioning to take this one for a 1T. And unfortunate for Central, allowing time and space for Oakland to set up, and boy, they don't miss. And that's a sign of a dangerous team that has scoring on basically all fronts, no matter where it is. Down low, up high on the slot, blue line. It's a 2-0 game just like that.
Brennan Martin exchanging contra tips with the officials.
Those 12 goals are less than 30 seconds apart, I believe, Reagan.
29 seconds to be exact. So Central Michigan has been plagued by quick goals in succession by their opponents all season, and it comes to bite them here. The MCHC first round playoff.
But you know, as easily as you say that, Oakland's one of those teams that likes to capitalize on momentum and jump out on teams. It's one of their strengths. It was one of our keys to the game in that first Oakland game, if you remember. And they've been able to do that once again. And so now it's up to CMU to respond and reset themselves mentally, physically. And boy, right now Oakland's making life tough. Look at this. They're just hounding them in their own end. You can tell they got some tired bodies out there.
Austin Ritter chasing after a puck. And the offensive end got tied up along the half wall. Morgan comes in there to help.
CMU's got to work really hard here the next 2 minutes. You can't allow Oakland to a 3-goal lead, because once that starts to happen, boy, that looks a lot bigger than 2-0. And I don't want to hear about your jinx stuff. It's all comes down to hard work. And see how CMU can respond. How are they going to work as a unit coming back on the forecheck?
Campbell over the line. He gets crunched into the boards. Neither referee holds his arm up. It looked like Pastor just cross-checked Campbell right to the boards. 9:49 to go. Clements took his man over the line, and Campbell gloves it down to neutral ice. Campbell over the line, goes into the corner. He's still got the puck, looking for a pass behind the goal. He's got a man up at the point. Here's Clements, a shot that was blocked. Good play by Clements to keep that puck in. And Oakland unable to get to it. Here's Hayes in the left wing. His shot goes wide. Across the way, Clements picks it up the half wall. Down in front, a shot, save! There on Campbell by Pottinger. Now here comes Deneau down right wing. Pulls up the half wall, throws one wide of Lauren Jones. Behind the net, it's thrown out in front. Taken away by Rychuk, and he's taken down, no call. Another shot from the right wing circle there by Phaneuf goes wide. Phaneuf has the top of the left circle. Toe drags around Baker, toe drags around Siraki. He's into the corner. Clements takes him hard into the half wall, and he's battling there with Phaneuf. Rychuk along the half wall, worked over there by Ray. Puck behind the net, across the way, Peck throws it down, and Clements takes it and throws it the length of the ice, and icing will be the call against Central Michigan. 8:34 to go here in the second.
The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, MAC TV, and more on television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, MHTV, and MAC TV.
On to the left of Lauren Jones, the Chippewa end, and we have a face-off violation here. Referee outside the zone making the call, so we'll have a redo.
Yeah, well, this group has had a couple of looks now. Siraki just came off the ice, dead tired, but he's got to go back here again, trying to keep Oakland out of this zone time.
Siraki able to block that one, and another shot from the left point there by Thomas Monty was blocked. Now another shot, oh, that goes off the skate of Clements, and the Chippewas lucky to clear it out after McLeod, who assisted on that second Oakland goal.
Boy, very fast puck movement from Oakland. You can tell a little bit the stamina's getting to CMU's forwards. They've kind of been a little bit slow getting back on plays, and even when they have, they've kind of missed some passes. That one's going to go for icing. You know, this Central group, we've asked questions about, hey, how do you keep guys 100%? Brendan Martin talked about how do you keep guys 100% instead of playing at 70% because they're tired. Well, he's got 4 full lines, but he's kind of electing to play only about 2 of them, and rather 2.5. As Hayden Flint's going to get a look here with Rychuk and Siraki, so you can see they're trying to make some adjustments, they're trying to make moves, and right now it's kind of just a kill mode.
Plant worked it up the left point for Pastor off the face-off. He chopped it down low, but it came right onto the stick of Hayden Flynn up right wing. Olan in the zone and throw it into the near corner. Matthew Finoff holding there for Oakland. Finoff's got 8 goals, 4 assists on the campaign. Sam Camara, freshman defenseman, will throw it in. Now a pass out in front, and Hayden Flynn finishes it home. CMU is on the board. 12:31 into the second, a nice feed out in front, and Hayden Flynn has goal number 3 on that campaign, and the Chippewas are right back in this one.
A dump in by Kyle Chapman to the left corner, tells Porzanic to go get it, heads up there, holds it for a moment, knows he's got his forward streak again, and heads up by Hayden Flynn. Great job receiving it, finishes it, had to shoot that one quick because Pottinger was ready for it, but not quick enough for it, and it leads to a CMU goal to put this game back within 1. That was great job by Siraki's line to force Oakland back to the zone. They had to dump the other way, and Central had an outlook pass to their top forwards. And who did I talk about getting a goal in this game? Well, Hayden Flynn got one, but Andrew Porzanic set that one up beautifully.
So Porzanic, the leading scorer for Central Michigan, getting his 18th assist of the year on that Hayden Flynn goal. And a nifty feed. Now look out, CMU has numbers. Porzanic over the line, left side, knocked it up in front for Bottles. Bottles backhanded it on, and Pottinger holds.
Oh, that
6:57 to go.
Hey, that looked a little more dangerous than at first glance. You know, Porzanic's taking this one again over the blue line. He tries initially get this to Hayden Flynn, and that one's deflected off escape, but good positioning by Bottles, trailing the play. Gets a backhander on the net, and then Flynn's trying to screen the eyes of Pottinger. Now, he sees it the whole way. He's a big goalie, but this is great stuff by Central. You can tell that top line is starting to think. We're seeing it, okay, how can I get my man in the best possession to succeed, not just on the first pass, but the second one. And boy, they are heads up right now. Watch that top line to take over.
This one sent the length of the ice. And first time in a while, Oakland commits an icing infraction rather than CMU. We'll hold with 6:49 to go in the second period.
And, you know, I think, too, is you can catch a team like Oakland that's expected Central to play one type of way, you know, kind of dump this puck in, chase it at the boards, and hope you get a look in front. But they've just been able to possess the puck a lot better in the last minute, and that's kind of caught Oakland by surprise. You can tell they've caught a little bit of speed now, and that, guess what? A goal in this game will do it for you. How many times have we said the first goal for Central is so hard to get for them, but once they do, the floodgates sometimes can open for them.
So the situation last game, or on the first game of the series between these two teams, Oakland jumped up to a 2-0 lead in the opening period. Isaac Gibbs scored with under a minute to go in that opening period before a second period for onslaught by the Golden Grizzlies. Put things away at the end of 40. The Grizzlies trying to go back in. Arbor deflected that puck. Passes ahead to Jane Nadeau off the turnover. That doesn't go anywhere, and the Grizzlies send it back in.
Nadeau has had a tough time connecting with his line mates on a couple of outlook passes. That time he has a chance to go one-on-one. He just can't find the puck under his wickets. And that's kind of just a byproduct of bad luck bounces, but also just having presence awareness, having that chemistry with your guys.
The Grizzlies trying to throw it out in front. It's played back to the near side. Crunching into the wall goes Kilb along with Auger. It's played around on the far side. Jump from there. Goes wide on the far side of Jones. Comes back to the near side. Auger threw it out in front. Look out. They're no in the slot. And Lauren Jones flashes the left-handed leather and holds on. 5:25 to go in the second.
Well, CMU counted for Auger, but they forgot about Deneau, who was right there in the top of the slot, waiting to chase in like they've done on their first two scoring chances. It had not been for the push reflex of Lauren Jones, boy, that would be a 3-1 hockey game. That's a very underrated save from Jones, who picks the top left corner and stops that one with the glove.
Now look out, that line truck crunch to the boards, but keeps going down left wing. The loose puck go by Geertz and hammers him into the boards. On the right wing, here come the Golden Grizzlies. Deneau along the half wall, threw it out in front, loose puck in the left, the right wing circle, comes free, and Deneau was worked over there by Hayes. Now look out, a pass ahead to Owen Campbell across the line, barely onside. Pull, flip into the middle, a shot, save! And he had nobody out in front. That would have been a wide open rebound chance as the Golden Grizzlies dump this one in wide.
Well, he's creative, isn't he? You know, when Campbell comes in alone, sometimes you don't expect always him to get to the net and score, but that one, boy, he was showing off a nice saucer to himself.
Got 2 penalty shot / shootout goals this season. The only other penalty shot offside here on CMU, but the only other penalty shot goal scorer was making bottles back in the series against Saginaw.
And Campbell knows he had his spot bent. He's frustrated, slamming his stick. And, you know, Campbell's got him to keep his composure in this game. You know, he can be that dynamic goal scorer. Last year, remember, he was top 5 in scoring for this Central team, but he kind of cooled off coming back out of that first semester he missed. Second semester, got his feet under him, and then cooled off again. And you want him to be that prolific goal scorer, but he's going to find his groove in this game. You want to hope he can use that frustration to his advantage almost and get a spark out of it.
Andrew Siraki can't get it out as Evan Chippa kept it into the right wing. He throws it around the board. Sam Camara underskated it. And the Grizzlies will throw it to the near side. Chippa down from the right point. Behind the net. That's worked up the half wall. Austin Ritter can't get it out. Here's Ruiz. Threw it out in front. Loose puck in front of Jones. And he was able to make the save, and it was cleared, but at the point, but not out.
How did Ruiz have so much space right there in front of the net? It seemed like all he had to do was just take a baseball swing at that thing, and it would have been past Jones.
Now look out, a giveaway in the defensive end there by CMU, and Chippewa came in with a sharp angle shot. Was denied. Chippewa's escape there. Now here's Connor Morgan up right wing. Scored in his very first game as a Central Michigan Chippewa all the way back against Ferris State on September 24th.
Feels like that was yesterday, doesn't it, Reagan?
Oh my goodness, yes indeed. The season has flown by. It's been a good one though. Good to get second season under the belt with you, Evan.
Yeah, and we're excited to continue it, buddy. We got some work left to do this year.
Golden Grizzlies were offside for a second. That forced them to halt at neutral ice. Look out, Hayden Flynn causes a turnover down the left side of the circle. A shot. That one bounces to the far side off of the block. Then Plant. Initial goal scorer for the Grizzlies. Will send it back out before the Chippewas send it right back in. Here's Porzonic chasing the loose puck across the way. Oh, he had Isaac Gibbs in the slot. But he was too far behind him and off his skate. Look out, the Grizzlies have numbers, but not to dump it in.
And that top line is creative. You know, Hayden Flynn's trying to get a saucer, and he's trying to put it above the head, really, of Bottles to get past the wrist of Thomas Monty. And Monty does a good job with his wrist to deflect that pass away. But you can see the creativity. You can see them thinking out on the ice. And you got to wonder, can they translate that to the rest of their line?
2:20, 2:14 to go in the second. And a shot from the right wing boards by Griffin Geertz. Slips by Lauren Jones under the blocker. And it's a 3-1 Oakland lead.
Oh boy, coming back the other way. And Geertz again with speed up the right wing. And oh man, I think he used Christopher Martin as his own pick right there. A screen in front of Lauren Jones' eyes. And this one just finds its way behind him. Jones is going to want that one back, but Martin was just trying to body up. Good positioning, really, but just screened his own eyes. But his goalie was a little bit shorter. And just like that, again, Oakland now regains that 2-goal lead. Now, Central, they got to find a way to dig in deep on this line, at least create pressure on Pottinger, because they need momentum now heading into this third period.
Looks like Oakland has found a spot on Lauren Jones that they can beat him from. 2 straight goals have beaten Jones' low blocker from the right wing half wall. And Oakland has opened up a 2-goal lead, or rather re-established a 2-goal lead here in the maroon and gold in the MCHC first round playoff. Reagan Cleaves, Devin Sarah on the call for you here. 1:32 to go in the second period. Stay with us for the intermission report. Look out, a shot on Jones. It handcuffed him up in the armpit area on the right boards, and Oakland almost had too many men there. They get away with it. Charlie Hayes backs this one out to neutral ice and back to the Oakland zone. 1:12 to go in the middle frame. Oakland 3-1. Oh, look out, Owen Campbell deflects it across the way on the long stretch pass, and it goes up and out of play. 1:02 to go.
Well, for a while, it looked like Central was controlling the ice tilt, the puck possession. It seemed like they were getting the outlet passes they wanted, getting to the O zone. But then all of a sudden, Oakland finds a way to get these odd man rushes. Not even odd man, just 2-on-2 playing against bodies. And you know, they're creative. They're really creative in their shot selection. You can tell they found a way to study Lauren Jones, as you established, right? And I think that's one thing that Central, there's only so many things you can do defending in your own zone. You can have the best position, you can not overskate the puck, you can take control of it, but sometimes the other team's just going to make a good play, and Oakland right now is making a bunch of good plays, especially through the center ice zone.
Kyle Chapman tried to find his man, and this will go all the way down the ice. The linesman right on it, waves it off. Big hit there by Ben Reichuk behind the net. A one-man wrecking ball on the offensive end. Wasn't able to gain possession, though, and out comes Jack Alpo on the right wing. Here for Arbor. Arbor dropped it off for Palmater. Palmater tried to feed it across, but it was knocked away. Here's Ben Reichuk. Oh, he gets elbowed up in the head, and somehow that doesn't draw a penalty. And Reichuk smiling in disbelief in front of us. And there's going to be a penalty.
Oh, look out.
Central
Reichuk
Michigan
gets one behind from Sam Palmater, their captain, but nothing coming from it, I don't think.
I don't think it's going to be anything. It's only going to be, I believe, a Central Michigan Chippewa heading off.
It's Keelan Baker.
It's going to be Keelan Baker, so with 21 seconds left in the second, Oakland has a chance.
Oh, are they going to send both of them?
A dangerous one. It doesn't look like they're going to send both of them.
Talking to Benny like, no, yeah.
I think Ben Reichuk's more asking why the heck the hit up high wasn't called.
Yeah, you're right about
21
that.
seconds
You're definitely
left.
right about that, Reagan. It's minor consistency. You know, penalties haven't been a lot in this game, but now 20 seconds, boy, this is a dangerous chance for Oakland.
Bob Holt ripped one wide. Baker off for tripping. Oakland 1 for 1 on the power play. They're out in front. Loose puck and cleared with 7 seconds to go in the second. Down the ice, Bonniger will hold behind his net with Porzondik on the forecheck. We'll dump it to the far side as time expires in period number 2. So that'll do it. Oakland getting 3 goals to Central Michigan's 1 here in period 2. We'll step aside, we'll recap it when we come back here on CCHN. And we're back here inside Midland Civic Arena, the South Rink, the NHL size sheet, where after 40 minutes of play, Central Michigan, like they have struggled with all season, the second period comes back to bite them. They are down 3-1 after coming into that second period scoreless, and they've got to hope that they can find their first win of the season when trailing after 2 periods. They are 0-8-1-1 when being down, or when entering the third period down. They got to change something here tonight, and it starts here in the broadcast booth. We got Powerade and Aquafina water given to us by Ben Rychuk's mom. Sue Rychuk has been a great supporter of this team, and thank you for that. It'll help us here in the third period, but that was a tough Central Michigan second period. Brody Plant opened up the scoring 8:03 into that middle frame on a tip from an Arbor shot from the high slot on the power play. That's the 4th power play point by Shane Arbor in this series alone. He has been phenomenal all season, especially in this series against Central Michigan. Dylan McLeod then ripped a shot from the right half wall past Lauren Jones' blocker on the low side, and it beat Lauren Jones cleanly on the blocker. He was a tad bit off his angle, and that's where Oakland would find the back of the net a third time after Central Michigan came back and tied and brought themselves back within 1 on Hayden Flynn's 4th of the campaign. Pardon me. It was a really nice play by Central Michigan in the offensive end. Andrew Porzanik chased a puck down the left wing and was able to pick it up behind the net. He threw it out in front where Hayden Flynn was able to bury it and bring them back within 1. But about 5 minutes later, Geertz worked down the right wing and again snapped a shot low blocker past Lauren Jones. It's got to be something that Oakland says, hey, we've scored 2 goals there. Let's try that again. It's got to be something Lauren Jones has to make an adjustment to in the upcoming third period of play. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboards. We neglected to prepare scores, but we do have some games on the docket here tonight. The Grand Rapids Griffins in action against the Chicago Wolves in the first of 2 games this weekend. That kicked off at 7 p.m. Bob Kaiser, Larry Figursky have that call for you on Wood Radio 1300, 106.9 FM. Out in Grand Rapids, the Spirit are taking on the North Bay Battalion. That started at 7:05. You can listen to that on 100.5, 790 GW. The Wings are taking on Tampa tomorrow, and for the first time in a long time, they are in a playoff position. They slipped into the wild card spot where they win last night 4-1 against the New York Rangers. It's been a long time coming for Red Wings fans, and they're relieved that they're in it, but from this point on, it's a fight to the death in the NHL's Eastern Conference. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the scoreboard in the NHL. The Buffalo Sabres are at Florida. The Minnesota Wild are at Toronto. Montreal visits Philadelphia. Carolina hosts Ottawa. All those games started at 7. Then the 7:30 games, which got underway about a half hour ago, LA is at the New York Islanders, and at 8, so kicking off right about now, the Colorado Avalanche are on the road against the Winnipeg Jets. That'll do it for our second intermission report. Stay with us, though. Third period, a pivotal one. Central Michigan needs to come back if they want to continue their season. We'll have it all right here for you on CCHN. 3-1 the score after 40. And we're back here inside Midland Civic Arena. Deja vu for Central Michigan fans. Same rink.
Right? But that's a good thing. Remember last year they were able to upset the Blue Devils on this very ice. And, you know, this team, we haven't always seen the magic that we expected from last year. But I have a funny feeling that they might just have something in store for this third period that we haven't seen all season long, and that is make that third period comeback. But it starts on this kill.
To no right in off the faceoff. Took advantage of CMU not having a defenseman on the right wing. They were able to work in and get a quick shot off on Lauren Jones, who again looked like he was off his angle just a slight bit on that shot, but he was able to fight off the high shot.
And Oakland going back to work on the cycle. This is one of the best power play units that I've seen cycling the puck.
There's Zombo on the near side, fed it across, intended there for Chippa. Look out, Porzondik was able to chip it ahead to Nathan Bottles. Lost the puck, it bounced off the skate of Abo, and Bottles and Abo going to the corner, and then Chippa there to pick up the loose puck. 55 to go on the power play. Deneau across that line right wing. He's able to put a shot on, saving the rebound. Is loose in the slot. It's taken by Porzondik. Pass ahead to Isaac Gibbs. He's got his opposite number coming back. Gibbs works in. And a save by Pottinger with Abo on the back check. A shorthanded opportunity for the Chippewas doesn't go.
Wow. I mean, I talk about aggressive forecheck from Oakland. They're trying to put this game away early, and they're doing that by overcompensating defensemen. That time, Porzondik finds a streaking Isaac Gibbs right down memory lane, and Gibbs picks his spot, but Pottinger saw it the whole way, and boy, credit to him. Tate Pottinger has played an exceptional game in net for Oakland tonight, as has Lauren Jones, I still believe, but Pottinger's just so big, so stand tall in that net. It's like you almost have to get him moving just to have a chance.
Pottinger has played very well in both games.
But look at this aggressive penalty kill by CMU. This is a great start to the period. Look at the bench getting fired up from that kind of hit and this kind of aggressiveness. And Central knows that their season's on the line. They know they've got about 20 minutes to save their lives right now. It's about playing every single shift like it's your last, and I'm sure Brendan Martin stressed that in the locker room.
Right off the face-off, Ruiz backed it back to the blue line. And the Grizzlies will dump it in, icing wave drop. 18 seconds to go on the man advantage. Top of the point, it was kept in there by the Grizzlies. But along the left half, Wallier's Prill working down. He puts on the brakes. In the left wing corner, works it up top, kept in there by Konzak, and a shot was blocked away, and the Chippewas are back to full strength. Holy moly,
Central almost had too many men. Both Keelan Baker and Andrew Miller tried to come off at the same time. Come on at the same time, rather.
They go to the boards behind the net. Here's Isaac Gibbs on right wing. Chips it out to neutralize Nadu on the forecheck, and it'll roll in behind the net of Tate Pottinger. For 2:05 into period 3, good cut off there by Nadu, but he was unable to corral the puck.
Big hit
and
by
Miller got decked by Palmer. Now the other way, a shot there was blocked. Ryan Gotch let that one go. Now the Grizzlies changing lines. A pass is picked off. Here's Ben Rychuk over the line to the near side. Campbell step on the shot and was patted away by Pottinger. And the net comes off its moorings, it looks like, as Ben Rychuk cut to the front of the net. And he gave Pottinger a little bump accidentally.
Boy, that's a sharp angle. Sorry, Reagan. That's a really sharp angle for Owen Campbell to attempt that shot. You know, he's got a winger moving up through center with him. I almost think he was trying to get that pass, rather, outlooked right to the front of Pottinger's stick, and he just reached it too far. There he is.
Campbell right off the face-off, lets a shot go, and Rychuk gets decked.
He's trying to pick that top left corner, Reagan, but look at how broad his shoulders are. You know, as a goalie, look at how big he looks. Unless you get Pottinger moving, he's going to stop those 9 times out of 10. And the confidence just continues to rise for a goaltender that has been a main stage for Oakland this season.
We apologize for that. Some technical difficulties here. So the battery is low on that one microphone.
It's innovative on us microphone, but sometimes it doesn't always work.
I knew we were low on batteries. I forgot to check it after the second period.
Oh, well.
This one rolls in on Pottinger. Shot from just outside the line. 16:58 to go.
You know, some parts of this rink you might want to have less noise than others because, boy, it can get loud in here in a hurry. Remember last year, that overtime winner, how loud this place was? I mean, I just rang through all of the moorings here at Midland Civic Arena's NHL rink.
16:58 to go in the third. Central Michigan wins that draw, but they're unable to keep it in. They have to tag up. Oh, offside here on CMU. It was confusing because one of the linesmen put their arms down, and the linesman on the near side made the call. So you have a face-off back in the Central Michigan end off the intentional offside.
16:50 to go. Let's see what kind of personnel they send out. Siraki, this line has been physical all night. Out there with Kiel, a young group, but a hungry one.
Now Ritter can't get that puck out on the right wing, and it's thrown back down low. Big hit by Palmer to shoulder his side. Raiding Kiel along the end boards, but the Maroon and Gold were able to pick up the puck and sky it ahead. Here's Connor Morgan over the line to the outside, fed it back out in front. Siraki, though, was tied up, and the Grizzlies will move it back out to neutral ice.
That's a great feed from Connor Morgan, working against his man, and like I said, just Siraki's tied up there. Austin Ritter's not able to get there in time, but look at the sustained pressure right now by Central. This could be good for them.
Here's Kiel from the left point, a shot whistled wide. Siraki's got it, out in front, Ritter! And Pottinger denies him, and sensational save from in tight on Austin Ritter. 3:55 to gone in this third period. Pottinger keeping Oakland ahead by 2.
Not much you can do about that one. Really great puck movement by Siraki, that whole unit. And mainly Siraki's trying to get this to the front of the net. Ritter's crashing, and it really, I mean, there's nothing more you can do right there. Pottinger's just posted up very well in his butterfly, and Ritter can't find the opening gap, which he might have had about maybe 6 inches by that left post to squeeze it home. Another face-off.
Charlie Hayes was unable to keep it in, and it's a hand pass here against CMU. The draw will come outside the zone as Hayes got decked there by Brody Plant. The MCHC playoffs continue here from Midland Civic Arena. 8:20 puck drop for Saginaw Valley State and Adrian on the other rink here at Midland Civic Arena, and then Lawrence Tech takes on Michigan Flint after the conclusion of this hockey game. Out on the west side of the state, Ferris State took on Michigan State at 5. Calvin takes on Davenport at 7. Then Grand Valley State will take on Western later tonight. Central Michigan had a couple of good opportunities. This one sent the length of the ice by their own player, so icing will not be the call. Clements whacks this out to neutral ice. Nice touch pass from Bottles to Porzonduk. He's over the line. They feed it back out in front. Clements capped it into the right point, rushing up ice. He threw it on goal. It was blocked by Porzonduk. Clements battling for it behind the net. Tenacious forecheck here by the Central Michigan freshman. He was unable to keep it in, but what an effort.
Well, you know, he was trying to compensate for missing the zone after Rydchuk got it back to the ball on that first time and hustled to get back to the puck, hustled to get it back to the zone. He did, and it was just that time kept out by Oakland. But you can tell this CMU knows their fates are on the line. They're hustling. You can't credit or discredit the work effort right now because they're going to work. They're trying to get this puck to the slot area, and Pottinger once again has just made them come up big. But you have to thank the more they can tire out this Oakland defense. It's only a 2-goal hockey game. One of these puts it within one. It's an entirely different story. And right now, Central's taking their game to Oakland in the most crucial time of the season.
Central Michigan trying to beat Oakland away from home for the first time this season. They're also looking for back-to-back wins against the Golden Grizzlies for the first time in their series history. Now the Grizzlies move out up right wing. Here's Kachi. Kachi got decked into the bench across the way, drawing some oohs and ahs from the Chippewa faithful to our left.
That's a heads up by Kachi to jump up onto the bench when he saw that hip check coming from Kyle Chapman.
Dumped in. Sam Camara back there for CMU. He got worked over. Look out, a shot from a sharp angle there by Kachi goes wide. There's Jay Nadeau. Moves it up into the offensive end. Thomas Monty controls. DDD across the way to Griffin Geertz. He's got the go-ahead goal right now for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Across the line, Koch got a pass, rang one wide. Now Great hustle there by Geertz to come in. He got tripped up there by Camara. Out comes Kyle Chapman. Will turn on the Jets. Up right wing. Gliding across that line. Will protect the puck into the corner. Works behind the net. A one-hand pass out in front. Look out, the Grizzlies have numbers. Here's Gotchi. Over the line. Will have to loft it in on Lauren Jones, but he couldn't glove that one down. He's been shaky in net for CMU the last couple of games.
CMU's got to try and back up on the net, Reagan. They're trying to crash down low and get a rebound chance, but that time, if Rychuk's posted up at the high slide, he's got a chance for a one-time ripper with Pottinger moving.
Here's Kyle Chapman behind the net, bounces it off the wall. Keelan Baker dumps it back to the Oakland line. 13:15 to go here in period number 3. Reagan Cleaves, Devin Serra on the call for you here from Midland Civic Arena in the heart of Michigan. Keelan Baker drives Deneau into the boards. Puck free behind the net. CMU has not been able to sustain any zone pressure in the offensive end. But look out, Owen Campbell trying to change that. Toe drags around the line. Knocks down his opposite number, Konzak, who was defending him. CMU unable to keep the puck in at the left point.
That's tough play by Connor Morgan right there. He's just trying to forehand backhand routine play, and he can't keep the zone. Mental error starting to mount for the CMU, and they've got the sustained pressure. They've got the effort. They've got to find a way to get into the zone cleanly, and they do.
Siraki over the line, a shot blocked away calmly by Pottinger. It's cleared up the point. That's possibly a hand pass, and indeed it is.
And Siraki's trying to take this shot from the right circle. I like the shoot first mentality. I like having the puck put on Pottinger and making him move. But when you do that, you got to have somebody ready for that look. And that's what Oakland's been doing tonight. They've been picking up rebound pucks. They've been having good positioning. Central's just too far backed up. It's just a culmination of mental errors, being a half step behind, ready for the shot. And right now, boy, they got to find a way to get better quality shots on the net. It's only a 2-goal hockey game. You got plenty of time to work with.
That starts by getting some zone pressure, but look out, Oakland. They've got speed. Jack Gampo throws it into the opposite half wall. Arbor across the way. Puts it down into the corner. Kiel runs Abo into the boards. It's tied up across the way with 11:56 to go in regulation. Abo along the half wall protects the puck to the high slot. Tries to back it up. Look out. Ritter was knocked down.
Goodness, what a collision
hits
by Monty and Ritter.
Couple of good hits at neutral ice. Look out, Ritter's got the puck. He's over the line, but lost the puck and will regain control, but dump it in and go off for a change.
And if you're CMU, we know, Reagan, penalties this year have been an issue for them. Getting caught up late in these games, they got to stay composed here. If you take a penalty now, boy, it's not a great look. That's really for either side.
Chippewas dumping and chasing here. It's not going to help you get into the zone. And it's sustained pressure. Hayden Flynn throwing his weight around with Shane Arbor at neutral ice. Here's Bottled across that line. Toe drags into the slot. He's knocked down. No penalty's going to come of that. Look out. Flynn to the side of the net. Oh, and look out. We've got an Donnybrook. Flynn behind the net with Palmater.
Flynn smartly skates away. He knows at this time there's no time for face washes or post whistle. But, you know, they got to keep things even there. You know, Palmater, he's their captain, and he's going to protect his men right there. But, I mean, let's take a look. Yeah, he's going to get off cleanly here. Arbor's motioning him back to the bench.
No penalties on either side, as it should be. In a little scuffle after the whistle.
But, you know, it's just something we've seen more times than not, right? Post whistle scrums leading to, you know, minor penalties, boardings, and
Nadeau right off the face-off from the left wing half boards. Sent that one on. It was blocked, though, before it could get through. And CMU was able to keep that puck in, but Oakland trying to break out. Charlie Hayes sent that one back down behind the net. Charlie Hayes keeping that in. A shot that goes wide, and Pottinger will snag that as it was going wide. 13 gone.
So they're going to get personnel of Jay Nadeau, Keelan Baker, Isaac Gibbs. You'd like to see these guys almost take a face-off draw, get a shot from the point, hope it goes off the end board, and have somebody in front ready for the shot.
Oakland wins the draw. They send it around the far side. It comes back out to neutral ice after a brief battle.
The more times, you know, the clock ticks away, you know, you look at the chances of the offensive zones, they've got to find a way to make these high percentages, and not just where they take the initial shot, but they get a second look. They get somebody streaking into the middle. I mean, it's 10 minutes now. Do or die. Dig in here.
Isaac Gibbs tied up across the way by his opposite number, Abo. It's eventually worked out to neutral ice. Jay Nadeau backed it there for Kyle Chapman. He's around across that line on the left wing. A shot blocked up and high off the glass behind the goal. Siraki throws it around the boards. Isaac Gibbs holds on left wing. He threw it on goal. It took a deflection there off of the face mask of Gonzaga. Grizzlies behind the net. Throw it out to the half wall. Nadeau poked it across the way for Gibbs. He got caught up in the left circle, and his shot is right on. Pottinger will hold. 9:38 to go.
If you're looking for game reports, stats, schedules, and more, take a trip to CMHIcehockey.com. There you can find those and much more, including player information, recruiting information, apparel, and more. That's CMICHICEHOCKEY.com. And Reagan, I don't know if you thought the same thing I did, but I would have liked to see Jay Nadeau take that shot from the slot.
Yeah, I mean, he was on his backhand, though, so I understand why he's trying to get that puck over to Isaac Gibbs, but Gibbs wasn't able to control it, albeit from good defensive work by the Golden Grizzlies, to be able to knock that pass away.
Way too many sharp angle looks. They've got to stop overskating the puck. I mean, if you're going to take that shot, get it to a high percentage area. That one's up and out of play. You can't keep taking these shots and hoping for a prayer, because that's what you're doing, working too close to the trapezoid. We've seen guys like Nadeau take those shots. Owen Campbell, Isaac Gibbs that time. If you're going to get that far into the post, hold up with it, turn around, cycle it, and get a better look, because you're not going to score on that angle. Point blank simple on a goalie like Pottinger, who's been great on his post all night.
Central Michigan trying to hand Oakland their first loss when the Golden Grizzlies have led by 2. They are 11-0 on the year when they've led after 40, and thus far CMU hasn't done anything to change that. It's played with an Oakland high stick at neutral ice. Prill will force Braden Kilb to make that play, and this one's sent down the ice, and icing is the apparent call, and indeed it will be the call with 8:53 to go here in the third. Fans, CCHN coverage continues of CMU club hockey this weekend. The women's D2 team out in Burton, Michigan to take on Michigan State Spartans tonight. They will take on Sioux tomorrow morning and Adrian tomorrow afternoon, hoping to punch their ticket to nationals with that. Here's a shot through traffic there by Griffin Geertz. It goes far enough. They got in front of the net before it was blocked. Chippewas trying to clear out here, and they do. Connor Morgan takes a long stretch pass on right wing, steps to the outside, protects the puck into the corner. He threw it.
Oh my!
Pottinger.
Now
was able to hold on to it, knowing Campbell was getting tied up in front.
Reagan, that was more dangerous than that looked. Connor Morgan gets pushed to the outside. Great job of the Oakland defender not to allow him inside, but he gets this puck, I don't know, 2 inches from the left post. If Campbell can somehow get free, he may have a chance to just poke it and just scoot it across the goal line barely. I mean, Connor Morgan, what a game he's had. I think Connor Morgan's been one of the best players on the ice for them. He's done such a great job with puck possession. He's had the clean looks. He's fed his teammates well, and they just haven't been able to jam it home.
Now here come the Golden Grizzlies. They've got numbers over the line right wing. Here's Auger, backs it out in front, but wow!
Oh, that's
Brandon
not good.
Clements lost an edge and went flying into the net. Lauren Jones got taken out by his own defender there. Shakes it off and gets up. Looks like he's all right. He's had a tough game between the pipes tonight. Shaking his left leg.
Oh man,
He's
that
taking
was
a skate in his own end.
And good to see Clements get up, because he just tried to stop on a dime, lost an edge, coming into the slot right down memory lane, and takes out his goalie and defending basically what was a 2-on-1 for Oakland right there. And heads up play. Good to see Lauren Jones get up. Boy, that's a tough one to shake off.
Oh, a shot right off the draw after Blindles tied his man up. Was kicked away by Lauren Jones. 8:08 to go here in period 3. Central Michigan down by a pair, looking to extend their season. They're sitting on the outside looking in, number 17 in the nation. Look out, this was his, deflected in front, and Hayden Flynn has his second. CMU with 7:55 to go as back within one.
Flinny, how do you do, baby? Hey, this play starts from Brandon Clements at the point, gets this puck just saucered as close as he can, takes a couple of odd bounces, and what do you know? Back of the net, 7:55 to play. Hey, anything can happen still in this one. An odd bounce hopping there. That's the game of hockey, folks. Hayden Flynn with what we presume to be his second of the night, albeit Brandon Clements leading the charge, leading the line as he deserved to be. That play is led by Brandon Clements. Great job by the freshman defenseman to keep it alive for that chance. Never say die, folks. It's not over yet. Stay with us.
The Chippewa bench complaining that there should have been a penalty. Arms up. In complaint, they aren't going to get one. Now the Golden Grizzlies have numbers. Here's Sam Palmer up right wing, steps around the check from Chapman. He's to the outside, threw it out in front, bouncing puck in the slot. Isaac Gibbs was able to play to the near side. Palmer, the offensive end, crunch to the boards. There, Mike Keelan-Baker, 7:14 to go. Now the puck is to the side of the net, and it's jammed out in front. Penalty coming up, and we got a scrum out in front, and a not sure who the penalty's going to be on here.
Look out, there's an Oakland. Look who else, Palmer. Palmer scrapping it up in there. A penalty's going to come up. I haven't seen a motion
The penalty came before that scrum.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, it was during the play, during the finishing of the play.
Isaac Gibbs head of the box for CMU Oakland to the power play. They're 1 for 2 tonight. Gibbs is going to head to the box for a cross check here. So CMU, their most vital penalty kill here, arguably of the season.
And a tough penalty. I don't even blame Gibbs for that one. Just there was a bunch of bodies crashing towards the net, but you're right, Reagan. They got to get this puck out of the zone quick. And now they've had offense on the penalty kill with this unit, so it starts with this draw right here, and it starts with taking easy possessions. Take your possessions. Don't give a quick giveaway.
Here's Arbor up to the left point, threw it on goal. Oh, that took a wonky deflection, and it's in the back of the net. Central Michigan complaining it was a high stick. I think it went off of a CMU stick, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, Albo's got the Oakland goal, and they're back up by 2.
That's a backbreaker. This one's held in at the point by number 19, Abo. Send it on net, and out of mid-air, it seems, he was able to find that puck and stuff it down past Jones, and he's not going to like that one, but boy, an odd hop bounce that catches Oakland for it. I haven't seen whose stick it went off quite yet. I'm looking at this one still. Reagan, you got a word?
It looked like it went off of a CMU stick.
Oh boy, that's a backbreaker.
In the high slot.
And it's Oakland's second power play goal of the night.
It's a tough one. CMU fans giving it to the referee. I don't know why. I mean, it was a cross-check penalty on Isaac Gibbs, and for Oakland getting his second power play assist, this time on Abo's goal, and that's point number 7 against the Chippewas. Shane Arbor has been dominant against these Chippewas. He got a hat trick in game 1 of the regular season. Oh, look out, numbers the other way for Oakland. Here's Deneau over the line. He's got Ray on the back door. He fed it there, and Ray fanned on it. Now they got Deneau. He's got it in front. He threw it out. He threw it in front and took a deflection off of Kiel, and Kiel gave a shove there to Deneau. And we'll have a stoppage of play. 6:07 to go.
Well, you know, as this clock ticks down, it's literally a game of possession now. You know, Central's got to find a way to muster about 2 or 3 minutes. And I'd say they're going to get probably maybe at max 5 looks at the net, maybe 2 of those quality chances. So, boy, it's really about capitalization. And I don't mean that with a capital P. I mean put the puck in the back of the net when you get it to the zone. Because if they don't, boy, that's a tough mountain to climb with 6 minutes to go.
Shane Arbor has 2 assists tonight, 1 on Plant's goal and 1 on Abo's goal. Abo's goal puts Oakland up by 2 here in the waning moments of this third period. Charlie Hayes, though, forces a turnover. CMU's got a 3-on-2. Porzondik across the line with a man coming back. Oh, we tried to find Flynn out in front, but the Grizzlies broke that up and cleared out to neutral ice.
I think Hayden Flynn just kind of overskated that puck for a minute. It was too far behind him as Porzondik is offside, just barely.
Good call by the linesman. Got Porzondik streaking up the right wing. He was a hair over the line before Bottles could bring it in on left wing.
And that top line's only going to get Bobby one more look to the net. They've been the production, Hayden Flynn tonight. It's frustrating, but you can't have time to weep. You got 5.5 minutes to figure it out.
And you talk about CMU brings them.
Oh my!
That puck's behind Pottinger.
Sorry for the jump
on
scare.
the dump in, and Chippewas didn't have anybody crashing the net. Here's Clements up at the right point, slides it across to Hayes. Will walk down the wall, throw it on goal. Pottinger blockered it away. Puck is free at the side of the net. It'll be picked up there by Evan Chippa. Behind the net, Baker out in front. Is knocked away. Thrown in. Oh, Charlie Hayes got a stick up into the face of Deneau on the
great
bench.
job
albeit
keeping the zone.
accidentally. He's able to keep the puck in, as Devin mentioned. Nadeau tied up the puck. Look out, Gibson the slide. After he blocked Clements' shot, was turned around and had it blocked himself. Now Gibbs' a shot from the top of the right circle was denied, and it'll be sent back to the Chippewa end. Charlie Hayes with under 5 minutes to go here in regulation. The Chippewas down by 2. Gibbs poking the puck past his man. Will throw it out in front. It was denied by the stick at Deneau. Deneau halts behind the net with 4:22 to go here in period 3. Played by a high stick at neutral ice. And apparently no possession. It wasn't played by Evan Prill, though I thought it was. It looked like Evan Prill poked it at neutral ice, but the linesman didn't see it. And so CMU plays it after playing it with a high stick. And a whistle will be called.
Well, Central's defensemen have been solid tonight, keeping guys at the outside, clearing the lanes, and there's not really much more to say other than this draw. You gotta find a way to win it, find a way to get it quickly out and back out to center, and you gotta move in a hurry. I mean, 4:08 to go. It's do or die again.
That Abo goal came just a minute and 1 second after Hayden Flynn brought his team back within 1.
Gotta be
Central
careful,
Michigan
don't be offside.
having trouble keeping momentum. Here's Campbell down the right wing. His shot was turned aside by Pottinger. Connor Morgan tried to rim it around in front, didn't go. Across the ways, Andrew Siraki worked it free, a shot along the ice, denied by Pottinger. Rebound, Andrew Fritz, score! Owen Campbell cashes on the loose change, and the Chippewas are back within 1 with 3:39 to go.
Now Siraki keeps this play alive. Beats his man past the buck at the half wall, scoots it back, gets a shot. Pottinger, who's been great with the rebounds tonight, but that time the perfect bounce is lined up by Owen Campbell going to the left side of the net. Applaud to you, Owen Campbell, sticking with the play. It's a 1-goal hockey game with 3:39 to play. And hey, rinse and repeat. Get to the net, get something on net, I guess, and find that rebound, because now, boy, that's a nervous Oakland bench looking right now.
Now the key for Central Michigan is to hold on. So Owen Campbell's goal was unassisted. Central Michigan, their goal earlier in this period was responded to just a minute and 1 second later. So CMU has to bear down against the Grizzlies. Here, there'll be a draw to the left of Lauren Jones after the icing. Nathan Bottles to dig in. He wins it for CMU. Martin rims it around the boards to the near side. Porzondik batting at it, trying to get it out. He does, but it's sent back in, though, by the Grizzlies' Konzak. Now Porzondik gets hauled down along the end boards there by Palmer on a great forecheck here for the Grizzlies. It's popped up in the air in the slot, scooped up by Andrew Porzondik. He tried to poke the puck past Konzak, it didn't work. Puck is free of the right wing point. They battle for it. It comes to the high slot. The Grizzlies are going to get to it first. In Duncan McLeod. He's across the line. Lets a shot on goal go. Jones made the save. 2:50 to go in the third period. A penalty coming up here on CMU. This happened against Oakland on the road. This one's thrown out in front. It comes back behind. Delayed penalty with Richie Metz behind the net. CMU touches up. And I want to say it's going to be a high stick. Devin, yep, indeed, it's a high stick.
Yeah.
And Devin, this is the 4th straight Central Michigan penalty. And with 2:36 to go, it's going to be tough.
I mean, it's just more unlucky than anything. You could see a timeout here briefly from Brendan Martin just to compose it. Bottles is going to go to the bench. One of the worst players you want to see go. They're going to have 2:36 left, 2 minutes of time. If you can kill this off, you maybe got about 36 seconds. But we've seen Central be aggressive on the penalty kill, and they're going to be it right here. You got to find a way to get up and down the ice. It starts with this draw.
Isaac Gibbs did it again against Pullman, or against Chippa. The Chippewas win it. Brendan Martin wanting a penalty. He's not going to get one. Here comes Isaac Gibbs. Up the right wing, throws it in. Abo behind the net. Deja vu. When we were back in Troy just 20 days ago.
And they're going to put the full man press on right now on Oakland. The
And
goal
they
is to
have
not
to.
let them out of the zone.
Well, the Chippewas trying to work the puck free, but they cannot do so. Abo.
And look at that pressure.
Great pressure by CMU. But
Sorry.
Isaac Gibbs
It's a great play by Gibbs, honestly.
can't get it. Here's Dano to the outside. Charlie Hayes lost his stick. So CMU basically on a 5-on-3 now. Grizzlies in the offensive end. Arbor threw it across the way. It couldn't be deflected on by Plant as he couldn't control. 1:36 to go. Now Abo's shot was blocked. Here's Jay Nadeau up the right wing. Hayes has his stick back. And Nadeau will just dump it in. Cattywampus of goal. 1:35 to go. In regulation, CMU down by 1. They need a goal to extend their season at least into overtime. Here's Arbor over the line. Dropped it off. Ruiz hammered a shot. It goes up and out of play. 1:13 to go. 37 seconds left in the Oakland power play.
Well, there's only one thing you do on a face-off situation like this. If you're going to go to the net, first of all, obviously win. Get it back to a defenseman. But, boy, one of these wingers, I'm looking at maybe Keelan Baker, who doesn't have the most speed. You got to get up and go. You got to put her on the jet somehow.
Andrew Porzondik trying to get to the loose puck. He's hauled down. Chippewa bench wanting a penalty. They aren't going to get one. Here's Keelan Baker over the line. A shot that was blocked. Porzondik steps into one. Oh, he rang it off the pipe. Now he runs into his man with 23 seconds to go and a minute to go in the game. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Andrew Porzondik inches from tying this game up.
Every single CMU fan pulling the Cobra move, hands on their heads. How did that stay out?
Stayed out because the net's only 6x4. Look out. Kyle Chapman forces a turnover to neutral ice, but he gets worked over by a phenomenal back check. 33 seconds to go in the game. Lauren Jones still in net. There he goes. Now a long shot on goal there by Martin. And a stoppage of play. 26 seconds to go.
I love the hustle by Kyle Chapman to keep the play alive at the left wing circle. We're going to have a timeout coming up from Brendan Martin, but I think we're going to stay here.
Yes, we will.
Because we got stuff to talk about. Look, that penalty kill, I mean, for as aggressive as it was, Central had a couple of good scoring chances, and they had a couple of times putting the stick on the puck, stick to stick, man to man, and you can tell, I mean, they're the faster team right now. They've found an extra gear that Oakland hasn't really had in the last 3 minutes, but boy, I mean, you know, if you're drawing up a play here, it's a quick one, right? Pottiger's been very unshaky with rebound. Let's talk about this a bit. Very good with his rebounds, but lately shaky, right? You have a one-timer clapper from Porzondik that somehow stays out off the left post. So if you're taking this draw, I'd expect face-off wins, slide it across. You got to find some open ice. You got to get Pottiger moving first of all.
Yeah, indeed. You got to get Pottiger moving. You got to get your top line out there for Central Michigan. It's been Porzondik, Flynn, and Bottles generating the chances for CMU. Campbell brought the Chippewas back within one with 16:21, and they've called the timeout. Lauren Jones will be pulled. It'll be 6-on-5. 26 seconds to go. Draw will be to the left of Tate Pottiger. Central Michigan at one point was down by 2 in this hockey game. They have brought themselves back within 1 twice. Oakland was able to extend the lead back to 2 between those 2 goals. 26 seconds to go. Central Michigan looking to punch their ticket to the quarterfinals. Oakland looking to hold on not only in this hockey game, but also to the number 15 spot in the ACHA. The Chippewas on the outside looking in at number 17. They have an offensive zone draw here. Net empty to our left. Campbell to dig in with Deneau in the right wing circle. The linesman making sure everybody's aligned. Oh, and we've got a face-off violation, but a timeout there by
And the
Oakland.
fans want a second
And
back
there
because of that.
there should be 26 seconds left on this hockey game, and Oakland will take a timeout, and we will as well. You're watching CMU D3 Club Hockey on CCHN. So Oakland didn't see what they liked, or didn't see what they wanted on that face-off, so they called a timeout just in the nick of time. The referees did put a second back on the clock, so now we have 25 seconds left. Same situation, 4-3. Oakland leads it under a half minute to go here in the third. CMU in the number 17 spot on the outside looking in. A win here helps them drastically. Oakland trying to stave off and hold on to that number 15 spot. Face off for the lifetime throw, and Campbell can't get it. Puck is sent around to the far side. Metz across the way will send it down the length of the ice. Icing initiated by the back linesman and called by the front linesman. 17 seconds to go. A drawback in the CMU end, or in the Oakland end.
So that time Porzonic's trying to streak in after the draw is lost, and he has heads up. He got a one-on-one, and Oakland just is able to cycle that puck away. Now we're going to get a chance in the left circle. Watch out for a lefty to shoot here.
Bottles can't win the draw, or wins the draw, but it's sent right to the off wing where
gotta
no
win it.
Chippewa was, and Charlie Hayes wins the race for the icing. But CMU wins the draw to the far side where they don't have a winger.
They don't, and that's just a play trying to get somebody in the middle. And yeah, you kind of wish you had somebody there in hindsight, but they get one more try. This is going to be it right here.
Bottles has to win this faceoff. 11 seconds to go. He's up against Shane Arbor in the left wing circle. He wins it through the legs of Arbor. Puck is free in the corner. It'll be tied up here by McLeod in the corner. McLeod gets back to it with 3 seconds to go. Puck's behind the net. The Chippewas out in front. And time will expire. And the Oakland Golden Grizzlies survive and move on. The seed upset for the Grizzlies. Number 5 in the conference takes down number 4. They will head on most likely to play Michigan tomorrow, and the season comes to a bitter end for Central Michigan. And now you hold your breath and wait for February 26th when the final rankings come out, but I will be frank, it does not look good. We'll step aside. 4-3 win for Oakland. Stay with us for the post-game show here from Midland Civic Arena. Well, it's a bitter way to end the season if you're a CMU Chippewa fan. You were within one goal at the end of the day. In the end, Oakland is able to survive and moves on to the quarterfinals tomorrow in the MCHC. And for CMU, all you can do is wait, Devin. Last rankings come out sometime next week, and you're on the outside looking in. It really depends on how everybody else does behind you at this point, and if you're to move down because of that loss to Davenport. It's a tough end of the season, but for CMU, you fought to the end, and there's not much else I can say.
Yeah, no, I think you said it perfectly. Fighting till the end. You know, this CMU team was down 3-1 entering that third period. It looked like Oakland had the bounces going their way. It looked like they had the sustained forecheck, the better quality chances. And then they found a spark. They found an odd bounce that went off a couple of players from Clement's initial shot, and then Oakland got on the board again, because every time CMU scored, it seemed like they'd take a penalty and go back to a penalty kill. And Oakland took advantage of those tonight, as they have done all season long, one of our keys. They have a late surge. You know, Owen Campbell sticks with it, and then Porzanik is a half an inch away from tying this game with about 52 seconds left off a one-time clapper at the blue line, and it doesn't go. And that's the way CMU season ends, at least for the premature future now.
That's how the regular season ends.
Yep, you have to see it, but we'll have to see in a way. Point is this was a proud third period for Central. This was the hardest I've seen them fight all year. That penalty kill with 2:36 left was the hardest I've seen them work on a kill all year. The effort was there. The execution, maybe not so much, but an applause to this Central group that dug until the end and didn't say die until the final buzzer, and you have to applaud that from a group that accomplished a lot still this year.
And we'll take you through this one goal by goal now. It was scoreless after one period, and you were thinking, hey, we can do this. It's a close game, CMU and Oakland. When tied after one period, CMU was 2-2, 1-1, so they hadn't been in this situation much, but it was kind of 50-50 on the results. But it was 8:03 into that second period. Oakland then took the lead. Plot on the power play was able to deflect an Arbor shot from the high slot. It went through the wickets of Lauren Jones and found its way into the back of the net for the fourth power play goal for Oakland. Not at Martin Ice Arena in this series, and for Arbor, that was power play point number 4 on in this series.
Yeah, and Arbor, it can't be said enough about Shane Arbor this series. Just the tenacity he brings to his game, the speed, the quickness, and able to just slither his way past CMU defenders at will. And you know, that's a credit to a good system and a good power play that Oakland University team runs. You know, credit to head coach Matt Sterling, David Gibson, Robert Laurel, Josh Price, and Dalton Jeanette for a great job getting this Oakland team ready. They are nationals worthy. And with that power play they have, with those special teams and the way they can just fight to you on the 5-on-5, make your life so difficult against the boards, rub you out. It's an impressive Oakland team, and credit to them turning around what was a dismal season last year to now being national title, national championship potential.
Yeah, and for Oakland, this assuming that they will make it in, and right now it looks pretty likely that they will make it into the national tournament in Boston in a month's time. They are back there for the first time since the 2020 and really since the 2019 season, because the 2020 tournament was canceled. So for them, it's shown growth as a program. They're able to get back in after a couple of years down, and Oakland deserves to be in that national tournament. That is for sure. And they opened up a 2-goal lead just 29 seconds after the Plant goal. McLeod let one go from the right wing half wall, the first of 2 shots that would beat Lauren Jones' low blocker, and that really would end up being the difference after Abo would gem one home on the power play to make it 4-2 later on. But I want to talk about Central Michigan. Hayden Flynn was able to get 2 goals tonight after scoring only 3 all season.
How about, can I say it now? The Don! Hayden Flynn, we haven't said it too much this year. 2 goals tonight. Very impressive, and you could tell that the top-line chemistry was there tonight. Porzanik did a great job, not just shooting the puck, distributing it. Nathan Bottles was flying up and down, using his physicality, and Hayden Flynn sometimes would be the receiver of the puck, and he did his thing tonight. I'm proud of him for that effort. One of the seniors on this team, one that's going to go out knowing that he did everything he could to put his team ahead, and it didn't happen for him. And And, we were coming off the ice here momentarily, Reagan, just seeing all the players, all the hugs to guys like Charlie Hayes, Keelan Baker, Ben Rychuk, because it's a tight-knit group. And although, you've talked about this year questioning why everything's gone the way they've wanted, there's one thing you can't question is that this is a culture. This is a group that cares about each other, and it shows right there, and nothing they can hang themselves about again in that final 20 minutes.
Yeah, they played their hearts out in the final 20, and unfortunately come up a goal and possibly a second too short, as Charlie Hayes had a one-time opportunity in the slot, but he didn't get it. He didn't get the puck until after the buzzer sounded, so CMU comes just 1 second and 1 goal short here at Midland Civic Arena. Owen Campbell was able to bring that game back to within 1, but in the end, it would be the power play goals, 2 of them, that hurt CMU in the end. Taking a look at our players to watch, Jay Nadeau was held off the scoreboard. Likewise, Andrew Porzonik registered 1 assist on that first Hayden Flynn goal. It was a great forecheck play behind the net. He was able to work it free to Flynn out in front, who one-timed at home, and that sparked some life in CMU, but they really couldn't do anything about it thereafter. Shane Arbor, one of our players to watch for Oakland, 2 assists, both of them on the power play, and then Sam Palmer didn't get on the score sheet, but he was all over the ice, and especially on that forecheck.
Well, he was good at defending his players behind the net, and you can tell that rough and tough play from him showed out tonight. Again, physical. This Oakland team, again, he complements what is a physical group, and Palmer kept off the score sheet, but this team going forward tomorrow now, when they will presumably take on Michigan, barring an upset in this game against Lawrence Tech and Flint that's about to take place, or that Saginaw game. Point is, he played well enough, I thought, even though he didn't get on the score sheet.
Flint's going to have a hard time doing it. They've got, as I count, 9 players. They've got 9 skaters dressed tonight against a powerhouse in Lawrence Tech. I think we'll have to watch for the upset in the Adrian Saginaw game, if I'm going to be frank here. It doesn't look too good for Michigan Flint, but hey, upsets happen. And you can watch that and follow it on, I believe you can follow it on the MCHC Twitter?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. MCHC Twitter updates, yep.
We'll be able to watch that MCHC Twitter. And so Michigan Flint and Lawrence Tech about to take the ice here. They're warming up behind us at the moment, but taking a look at our keys to the game, Devin, we needed a full team buy-in tonight, getting the little things right, and getting the star players the puck.
Well, I think 2 of the 3 things happened tonight. I think this group bought in. I think the star players did have the puck and did a lot with it, i.e. that Owen Campbell and Hayden Flynn goal. But, sometimes the little things wouldn't go right for them. Sometimes they would lose a puck at neutral zone, give a bad giveaway, and then sometimes they'd streak to the net. They look like they got a 2-on-2, not an odd man rush, but a good scoring chance, and they'd overskate a bit, take a sharp angle shot that, let's be honest, isn't always high quality. And it's just those little things that add up in a game. You go back and you look back in hindsight, think, what could I have done differently? Where could I have been positioned differently? How much quicker could I have been to the puck? And these players are going to ask those questions a lot today and tomorrow. But the fact the game played well, other than the special teams.
Yeah, indeed. And taking a look now at our 3 stars of the game, sliding in the 3rd star with the game-winning goal, Jack Abo, who played really well tonight out there with Arbor on that power play unit. They were able to cycle the puck well, and dang, that Oakland power play is very good.
Yeah. And I want to say a little bit of an underrated performance from some of the younger guys on this team. Brendan Clements had an excellent night. He did a lot of great things. Kyle Chapman, who returned in the 2nd semester, did a lot of awesome things. Kyle Morgan had a lot of great games, and it's unrelated to what we talk about, but signing off here from what would be presumably our final CCHN broadcast for the men's side, it's credited to know that there are unsung heroes on this team that are going to continue the future of this program, and next year is going to be a cornerstone year because of all of the departing seniors, all of the turnover. It's going to be a new look team next year, and I'm excited to see what happens, but I'm also nervously cautious because I know this is the end of an era for some of these guys.
Oh, it certainly is the end of an era. At this point now, all the players that made it to that 2018 national tournament, national semifinal against Hope, they're all graduated. So it is certainly the end of an era for Central Michigan, but it's a way to go out. You fight to the end here at MCHC, but you got to hold your breath at this point. You still don't know. You're the number 17 team in the nation, so you wait and see.
This
next
is the
week.
action, right? Anything can happen. The most beautiful league in the world, certainly.
It is certainly. And taking a look at our second star of the game, Hayden Flynn, as we talked about throughout this post-game show. The Don father was amazing here tonight, getting 2 of the 3 Central Michigan goals. He really started to click on that top line, and it was sad to see them not get much more, but Andrew Porzonik, Nathan Bottles, and Hayden Flynn were phenomenal on that top line.
Certainly, you can't say enough about what that top line's been producing this second semester. You know, these guys have put up a lot of points this year. Porzonik reached 40 this year. Nathan Bottles had 25, and Hayden Flynn had a career year for points because of that. So the top line doing what they've always done all year long, but in the end, it's not enough, and Hayden Flynn's 2-goal effort falls short for them.
Indeed, and the first star of the game, Shane Arbor, who has been the Chippewa killer in this series. He had 3 goals in this series and 4 assists, 7 points in just 3 games. He has been phenomenal for Oakland against CMU, and he continued that here tonight, getting assists on both of the power play goals. That now brings him to 5 power play points in this series.
An excellent effort again. You know, we could go on layman's terms all night long about how good he is, and credit to this Oakland squad. I'm excited to see what they do going forward in this tournament, and what I believe will be a national tournament run.
Yeah, they have a bright future ahead of them coming into March, and we most certainly see them at this point in Boston. They will take on either Michigan, or if they are the lowest remaining seed, or if they're part of the 2 middle seeds, they will play tomorrow at 11:50. 2:20 will be the game if they play at Michigan, but they move on to the quarterfinals. Lawrence Tech and Michigan Flint taking the ice right after they cut the ice after warm-ups here, and then Saginaw takes on Adrian at 8:20. That game well underway now on the other rink. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard for the ACHA, and on the west side of the MCHC, Ferris State took on Michigan at 5. 7 p.m. saw Calvin take on Davenport, and GVSU started their game against Western Michigan back at 8 o'clock. And from this point on, Devin, any final thoughts?
Well, more than what we've already said. Just proud of this Central Michigan team, the way they fought this second half. They had some rough stretches. They had some highs, very highs being the wins against Grand Valley State. You know, Brendan Martin came in as interim head coach and really changed what was a system that wasn't really working for them. And came in, Grand Valley, the upset, and then the Miami Showcase. How much fun was that for us, right?
Blast.
Upsetting number 2 Missouri State, beating number 14 Nebraska. But that IUP game is one we're going to remember in our minds for a long time. What was probably their turning point that we said a little bit too early in that Missouri State, that what if that 0-0 tie, what could have been. But my honest final thoughts go to you, the fans that have watched us all season long here on CCHN and supported us through all of our endeavors. And we're going to continue on, you and I, Reagan. We've got bigger things to do, MCHC semis and finals. Yeah. And then on our way to Boston Nationals. Credit to our social media guy, Joe Lazier, who enough can't be said about them, folks. If you got an Instagram account, if you got a Twitter account, Facebook, whatever, go like his post, go share it. He's one of the best in the ACHA. My opinion, the best there is, and no one else can compare. And how about you, Reagan? It's been a fun season with you, my friend.
It certainly has.
And we've done now 2 years together all the way through. Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and you have improved greatly as a broadcaster, as myself, and the future's bright
Way
for both of us.
Way to pat yourself on the back, man.
Well, hey,
I was going to compliment you, but you just go
we can't leave the broadcast in a heartwarming moment. You just got to leave it there and find a way to chip me in. No, it's been a blast with you, my friend, and I'm going to miss this season a lot. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It will be fun.
And thank you to the rest of our CCHN family for their help, as well as Alex Scher behind the sticks for us today. It's been a pleasure to work with you all this season, and I look forward to the future.
But it isn't our final game together this season. We've got the MCHC Vezina Cup final coming up next Saturday at, we believe, 8 p.m. at Patterson Ice Center. And if you want to tune in, that'll be on the YouTube channel MCHC TV. We'll have all the action of both the semifinals as well as the final live from Patterson Ice Center in Grand Rapids. Until then, my name is Rain Cleaves, for Devin, Sarah, and everybody else here at CCHN saying so long. Thank you so much for your support all season. And this one, although it fell short, Central Michigan falling to Oakland 4-3 tonight. It's been a great season, and we thank you so much for tuning in every single second of the way. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful night, everybody.